Chapter 181. Sit tight and don't disrupt the plan. Zhang Taotao went to inquire again. Sure enough, it's just like what Lin Moyu said. In each grouping, the Eagle Kingdom's teams, which have been making great progress until now, collectively bit the dust. Without employing any tactics, only knowing how to attack, they lost in the end. The Godby courtyard, at the tea table, there was an additional person, Ning Taran. Ning Taran said, "Those guys from the Eagle Kingdom have been defeated." Meng Anwen still has his eyes closed. Tea flowed out his cup and into his mouth. As I said earlier, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Berserker's frenzy comes at a cost. To use drugs to break through the limit at the cost of losing your reasoning, it's not worth it. He spoke with absolute certainty. When the Eagle Kingdom first started researching the drug, he had already made his judgment. The facts corroborate his judgment. Bai Yiyuan shares the same view as Meng Anwen. Conversely, Sakura's Shinto Miko is a bit interesting. Meng Anwen snorted, "Nonsense. It's just a variant of Onmyoji. The rubbish gods she can summon are basically just Shikigami. It's not like you don't know what kind of things Shikigami are." Meng Anwen has a calm and conventional disposition, and this kind of class doesn't catch his eye. Both the drug researched by the Eagle Kingdom and Nanako's class are garbage in his eyes. It's not that he's arrogant. When it comes to understanding classes, he is second to none. Bai Yiyuan and Ning Taran didn't refute him. Bai Yiyuan changed topics and said, "If those guys are going to take action, it will be in the next few days. Old Meng, pay close attention." Meng Anwen made a sound of assent, saying, "Don't worry. The preparations are done. The old man must also be ready, waiting for them to make a move." Ning Taran didn't understand momentarily. "What are you talking about?" Bai Yiyuan didn't hide it and told about using Lin Moyu as bait. Ning Taran suddenly jumped up and asked, "What did you say?" "You're using young Lin as bait, with my granddaughter next to him." Bai Yiyuan waved his hand, saying, "Don't worry. We already made preparations. Besides, the bait is not only limited to Lin Moyu. There's also Lin Mohan. The old man is lying in wait." Meng Anwen said in a dignified voice, "Sit tight and don't disrupt our plan." Ning Taran turned his eyes in thought. He understood the truth of the matter. "Okay, then I'll wait here." He decided to stay here and wait. If anything were to happen, he will rush over in the first moments. He won't allow anything to happen to Ning Yi. The finals went on. The team from the Fandi Sacred Domain and the team from the Shajing Academy collided. Bright light arose in the arena, piercing people's eyes. The entire arena turned into a small sun. As the light shone, class users from the Fandi Sacred Domain appeared outside the arena one after another, eliminated. They stared blankly into space, not even knowing how they were eliminated. There was a flash of light, and it was over. Zhang Taotao said gravely, "His name is Su Sheng, Sacred Light Mage, legendary class user. He has been admitted to the Chuangshi Institute. He should have reached level 32 months ago. However, for the sake of the class user competition, he deliberately remained at level 29. He previously said his goal is to take first place, but in fact he's after the elementary flash skill scroll." Su Sheng started with a skill and directly eliminated the team from the Fandi Sacred Domain, displaying tremendous power. This is the way things have been since the start of the competition. Except for Su Sheng, no one else in his team has made a move. Su Sheng started with a skill and gained victory. Not unlike the team from the Fandi Sacred Domain, the teams that have been eliminated by him don't know how they were defeated. Su Sheng stood proudly in the arena, glowing with white light. He swept the area with his gaze. When he saw Lin Moyu, a shade of disgust flashed in his eyes. Sacred Light Mage is of the holy trait, while Lin Moyu is an undead-type summoner. Just like when Mo Yun first saw Lin Moyu, this is an instinctive disgust brought about by their class's trait. In the final match of the first round of the finals, the Shengdu Divine Domain faced the Shengdu Church. The battle between the two sides was eye-catching. The Shengdu Divine Domain has a special class called Star Champion. Star Champion has extremely high and balanced attributes, with gorgeous and powerful skills. Like the Shengdu Divine Domain, the Shengdu Church also has its own distinct class. Crusader combines the advantages of both knight and warrior, balancing attack and defense. Both sides were evenly matched, going back and forth. The battle lasted for a full 10 minutes before the winner was finally determined. The team from the Shengdu Divine Domain ultimately won by a narrow margin and advanced to the next round. The top healers of the Shengxia Empire stepped in to restore the class users to their peak condition. The next round of competition will start in 1 hour. At this time, there are only 4 teams left in the level 20 grouping, namely Lin Moyu's team, the Shajing Academy's official team, the Jundan Academy's official team, and the Shengdu Divine Domains team. Lin Moyu has been paired with the Shengdu Divine Domains team. The Shajing Academy's team was paired with the Jundan Academy's team. Zhang Taotao told Lin Moyu the information she inquired about the next opponent. Shengdu Divine Domain's star champion has strong skills and balanced attributes, both elemental and physical attacks, as well as the star armor skill, which has extremely high defense against elemental and physical attacks. All in all, this class has no obvious weaknesses. But no matter how high its attributes are, they can't be higher than those of skeletal warriors. As long as there is no control type skill, it will be almost impossible to get past the skeletal warriors. Lin Moyu watched the fight between Star Champion and Crusader, and there were no control type skills used. The two have reached their limit, and neither has used control type skills, indicating that they have no control type skills. Since they have no control type skills, the result is self-evident. Lin Moyu walked onto the arena, still by himself. The 5 members of the Shengdu Divine Domains team also climbed onto the arena. With the help of top healers, they have fully recovered. Their energy and spirit have reached their peak state. The opposing team is composed of 4 star champions and 1 Battle King support. They abandoned Prophet and chose the more comprehensive Battle King support. The Battle King support can provide both status buffs and treatment. The 4 star champions looked at Lin Moyu, and their eyes welled up with fighting spirit. Lin Moyu, we know you're strong, but we aren't weak either. Our star armor skill can significantly reduce damage. Thanks to it, we can overcome your skeletal warriors and kill you. You're just a mage, you won't be able to withstand our attacks for even 2 seconds. Although your curse skill is powerful, but the thing we fear the least is curses. The opponent was full of confidence, as if they had found Lin Moyu's weakness. Their frankness made Lin Moyu feel a bit embarrassed. Lin Moyu said lightly, I wish you success. Don't worry, we will definitely succeed. The opponent spoke sharply, as if the end result was a foregone conclusion. As the signal for the start of the match sounded, the Battle King support quickly applied status buffs, and the 4 star champions rushed toward Lin Moyu like bolts of lightning. A layer of gold light enveloped them completely. This is their skill, Star Armor. The skill greatly increases defense. At the same time, it reduced damage taken from elemental and physical attacks. The effects are very good. Star Champion is a kind of class unique to the Shengdu Divine Domain, and Star Armor is its signature skill. Faced with the Star Champions rushing toward him, Lin Moyu raised his finger. The entire arena was suddenly bathed in red light. Red chain patterns appeared on top of the heads of the 5 people, and their speed slowed down in an instant. Subsequently, the 4 star champions shone with gold light, and their star armor rapidly expanded and enveloped the red chain patterns. Under the impact of the gold light, the red chain patterns quickly cracked. Although they weren't completely shattered, but the effect of the curse has been greatly reduced. Lin Moyu understood now. This is what they meant by saying that they don't fear his curse. Although there is no elder to lift the curse, but their star armor skill has the ability to suppress the curse. That's a pretty good skill. At this time, the star champions were right in front of him. Just as they were about to attack Lin Moyu, their view suddenly darkened, and then a large blade swept toward them. Skeletal warriors. The star champions were ready for this. They quickly dodged the skeletal warriors, and then attacked Lin Moyu from the sides. They just dodged, when another large blade came slashing toward them. They dodged again, then there was another large blade. Rinse and repeat. Then, light glimmered in front of them, and magic spells fell on them. Along with a few loud bangs, the 4 star champions were knocked away. Only then did the 4 see what is going on. 10 skeletal warriors and 10 skeletal mages formed a protective circle, with Lin Moyu inside. There are no gaps. In order to attack Lin Moyu, they must break through the defensive line composed of skeletal warriors and skeletal mages. This situation exceeded their expectations. They didn't expect Lin Moyu to use such a move. The attacks of the skeletal mages descended again, and they quickly dodged. Lightning flashed and thundered, electrocuting the star champions in an instant. Other spells can be dodged, but not lightning-type spells. The star armor offset most of the damage. Coupled with the Battle King support's healing, they can persist for the time being. Lin Moyu willed, and several skeletal mages no longer attacked them, but instead focused on the Battle King support. The entire arena is within the skeletal mages' range, so the Battle King support has nowhere to hide. The Battle King support suddenly fell into extreme danger. The star champions saw this and said in unison, "Strike from above." The 4 people leapt high into the air, attempting to jump across the skeletal warriors and attack Lin Moyu from above. As they leapt into the air, the skeletal warriors also jumped into the air, accurately intercepting them. The 2 sides collided in midair. The skeletal warriors suddenly made an unexpected move. The skeletal warriors actually grabbed them, holding them with one hand and slashing with the other. This action made their hearts jump into their throats. They didn't expect there to be such a move. The skeletal warriors can actually catch people and cut them. What sort of summons are these? Caught by the skeletal warriors, the 4-star champions were unable to dodge. In the blink of an eye, they were slashed several times. At this time, the Battle King support could hardly fend for himself, so it was impossible for him to provide treatment to them. The 4 people struggled frantically. The star armor burst out with brilliant light, and they finally broke free from the skeletal warriors' grip. They looked back and saw that their Battle King support has already appeared outside the arena. The faces of the 4 people turned ashen. They just boasted that they will defeat Lin Moyu, yet they ended up losing so decisively. Chapter 182. The villain often dies from talking too much. Lin Moyu won once again. Everyone has anticipated this result. When he summoned 20 skeletons, no one was surprised. Someone said, "I did say Lin Moyu has 10 skeletal warriors and 10 skeletal mages. I got it right, he's a one-man team. There's no way others can beat him." Those who guessed the number were excited, as if they had done something remarkable. Lin Moyu has shown a total of 3 skills so far, namely Summon Skeletal Warrior, Summon Skeletal Mage, and Slowing Curse. Many people are looking forward to seeing if he has other skills. Su Sheng led the Shajing Academy's team into the arena. The team from Jundan Academy also stepped into the arena. Sacred Light Mage and Divine Eye Sniper, 2 legendary classes are about to collide. Su Sheng uttered, an arrogant look in his eyes, "My Sacred Light Mage is in the top 5 of legendary combat-type classes. Your Divine Eye Sniper, on the other hand, can't even rank in the top 10. You can't beat me." Lu Shanren's gaze was solemn. He knows Su Sheng is telling the truth. Within the legendary rank, there are significant differences in terms of strength among classes. Lu Shanren said coldly, "We won't know who wins until we fight." "Oh, is there any use to fight? I am talking with you because we are both legendary class users. If it were someone else, I wouldn't bother speaking." Su Sheng has the capital to be proud and arrogant. He has eliminated all opponents in an instant so far. No one was able to withstand his first skill. In his eyes, only legendary class users are qualified to talk with him. The formation fluctuated, and the sound indicating the start of the match rang. Su Sheng raised his hand, and dazzling light broke out in an instant. It's the same attack as before. Since the start of the competition, Su Sheng has only used this one skill. No one was able to withstand it. They didn't even know how they lost. As the light shone, members of the Jundan Academy's team appeared outside the arena one after another. In the end, even Lu Shanren appeared outside the arena. From the beginning of the match to the end, it took less than 10 seconds. Despite being also a legendary class user, Lu Shanren still was defeated, and in such a one-sided manner. Even Lu Shanren didn't know how he lost. Su Sheng looked aloof, saying, "As I said, there is a big gap between us." Then he turned to look at Lin Moyu and said, "Next is your turn. I don't need a break. What about you? Let's deal with you quickly, so I can go back and rest." If it weren't for the elementary flash skill scroll, I wouldn't have bothered to participate in such a senseless competition. Su Sheng is looking down on Lin Moyu. In fact, he looks down on other class users. The same is true for the 4 teammates behind him. They were sent by the academy to fill the numbers. They basically don't need to do anything at all. A referee flew over from the arena and asked Lin Moyu, "Su Sheng has challenged you. Lin Moyu, do you accept his challenge and fight now, or do you want to rest before the match?" Lin Mo said without hesitation, "Let's start the math now. The sooner the competition is over, the sooner he can be finished." Even though he doesn't understand Su Sheng's skills, it doesn't matter. After all, the bone armor is not a decoration. No matter what skills the other party throws at him, he will have to break through the bone armor first. The bone armor can even block the Fire Demon King's death ray, not to mention a level 29 class user's skills. There is a limit to how strong a legendary class user can be. Lin Moyu climbed the arena. Su Sheng spoke a few words to the team members behind him, and they quickly jumped off the arena. I'm aware you're also from the Shajing Academy, and I have heard of your deeds at the academy. To carry ordinary students to earn points, such a shameful thing befuddles the mind. Su Sheng prattled on, his eyes containing a shade of disgust. Lin Moyu's face gradually turned gloomy. You can be proud and arrogant all you want, it's none of my business. But to give me a sermon? Who do you think you are? Is there something wrong with your head? Lin Moyu suddenly spoke up. Su Sheng was taken aback and then said, What did you say? Lin Moyu said, If there's something wrong with your head, you should look for a healer instead of barking here like a dog. Su Sheng's face flushed red with anger. Zhang Taotao asked, a strange look on her face, Yi, why does this sound a bit familiar? Ning Yi smiled awkwardly and said a bit embarrassingly, he learned it from me. The corners of Zhang Taotao's mouth twitched involuntarily, looking as if she wanted to laugh but couldn't. Su Sheng said coldly, You dare chide me? You actually dare chide me? Imbecile. Lin Moyu snorted coldly, too lazy to bother with him. Some people are too presumptuous and too arrogant, thinking they are God's gift to the world. But in fact, they are nothing much. Su Sheng's voice grew colder, a spar of words is meaningless. Only fists are the hard truth. Lin Moyu didn't bother to respond. The legendary class must have gone to his head. You can't reason with such a person. The only thing he can do now is to stomp him under his foot. The battle started. 5 skeletal warriors appeared in front of Lin Moyu. Su Sheng disregarded the skeletal warriors, saying, Undead-type departed spirits, accept the punishment of sacred light. The arena lit up again and turned into a pure white mass of light that blocked vision. In the mass of light, Lin Moyu's bone armor flickered, clearly under attack. The attack comes from the light, the omnidirectional and unavoidable light. The attack of light is all-pervasive, and even the best knights wouldn't be able to block it completely. The light contains a special aura. Lin Moyu felt a sense of familiarity from it. After sensing it, he finally understood, so it's a spirit attack. This aura bears a striking resemblance to that of his soul blaze. It turns out Su Sheng's attack is a spirit attack. It's different from my soul blaze. It's not as intense and doesn't directly cause a lot of damage. As if a frog being boiled in warm water, the opponent will be attacked and eliminated without even realizing it. It seems so innocuous that not even the opponent knows how they were eliminated. Unfortunately, spirit attacks are still within the scope of the bone armor's defense. Su Sheng maintained the light with one hand, and raised the other hand high into the air. Lin Moyu appeared to be in a daze, showing no movement. Go to hell. Skill. Light blade. A large blade made of light struck toward Lin Moyu. The large blade contains the power of light, and its speed is very fast. It almost instantly landed on Lin Moyu. The reason why Sacred Light Mage is classified as a legendary class, a very powerful legendary class to boot, is because it can unleash spirit attacks and manipulate the power of light. The bone armor is incredibly firm. When the large blade landed, the armor didn't shake in the least. Su Sheng furrowed his eyebrows. The bone armor's toughness exceeded his imagination. His light blade has always done the trick until now. Lu Shanren, who is also a legendary class user, was similarly defeated by the light blade's attack. But Lin Moyu unexpectedly blocked it. Click, click. The world of light is very quiet, and so the footsteps of the skeletons were particularly distinct. The 5 skeletal warriors ran forward within the sacred white light. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Su Sheng and swung down their blades. The sacred light is merely a spirit attack and has no effect on the skeletons. Su Sheng spoke with aversion, impact of sacred light. A more intense light appeared in front of him. Containing a strong sacred aura, it exploded with a loud bang. The 5 skeletal warriors were suddenly blown away. Lin Moyu can feel that the skeletal warriors didn't receive much damage. The power of sacred light and the skeletons, undead power are mutually restraining. As for who will restrain whom, it all depends on the power and attributes of both sides. Since the skeletal warriors have by far surpassed Su Sheng in terms of attributes, his skill wasn't able to cause them much damage. But similar to a control-type skill, the skill has a knockback effect, blowing the skeletal warriors away. Su Sheng still maintained his arrogance. In his eyes, the sacred light can restrain darkness. The undead-type monsters should be purified by the sacred light. But in the next moment, the skeletal warriors quickly got up again, their bones completely intact. They weren't damaged at all. This is impossible. Su Sheng was incredulous. He wanted to launch another attack. With a loud bang, 2 lightning bolts fell from above. Su Sheng shook, and his skill was immediately interrupted. The white light enveloping the arena disappeared, and the people were finally able to see what was happening in the arena. Su Sheng emitted black smoke from all over his body, his hair standing on end. Oh, he hasn't been eliminated yet. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. As expected of a legendary class user, his attributes are indeed higher than those of ordinary class users. Even with a mage's weak physique, he was still able to withstand the attacks of 2 skeletal mage. At this time, Su Sheng looked disheveled, trembling. Lightning-type magic attacks aren't easy to deal with. He gritted his teeth and used a skill, and a pure white magic shield appeared around him. Skill: Shield of Sacred Light. This is the first time he used a defensive skill in the competition. I admit I underestimated. Before he could finish speaking, the skeletal warriors had already reached him and unleashed their skill. Undead power and the power of sacred light are mutually restraining. When the skeletal warriors unleashed their skill, they easily tore apart the shield of sacred light. With large blades looming over him, a ring of pure white light exploded in Su Sheng's hand. The skeletal warriors were once again knocked back. Skill: Ring of Sacred Light. This skill also has a knockback effect, similar to Mage's Fire Ring of Repulsion. I admit I underestimated. Boom, boom, 2 more lightning bolts fell on him. Su Sheng still couldn't finish speaking. Attacked by the skeletal mages once again, Su Sheng couldn't hold on this time. He appeared outside the arena. As he breezed through the competition until now, arrogance and haughtiness never left Su Sheng's face. But now disbelief took their place. He can't believe he was eliminated. Lin Moyu shook his head. He thought of a sentence he heard before: the villain dies from talking too much. Chapter 183. Counselor Shu Wei, Demon Worship Society. Outside the arena, Su Sheng stared at Lin Moyu. He wasn't allowed to finish speaking. He won. Lin Moyu won. He won. Su Sheng's attack was ineffective against Lin Moyu. How did Lin Moyu dispel Su Sheng's attack? What exactly was Su Sheng's attack? Despite being a legendary class user, a sacred light mage, he still lost to Lin Moyu. The people sighed and marveled at Lin Moyu's power. At the same time, they wondered what Su Sheng's skill is all about. Why did the skill that was invincible from the start of the competition fail in front of Lin Moyu? After staring at Lin Moyu for a while, Su Sheng finally said in a grave voice, "This time it's your victory. Let's fight again when we both have become high-level class users. At that time, I will let you know how strong I am." When he was done speaking, he turned around and left. Although he lost, but his pride and arrogance remained. Lin Moyu felt that there is indeed something wrong with this guy's head. He seems to be immersed in his own world, unable to extricate himself. The match ended and the formation disappeared. Ning Yi jumped onto the arena, hugged Lin Moyu, and cried out happily, "We won." Lin Moyu hugged her back and stroked her head. The victory was a foregone conclusion. From the beginning of the competition, Lin Moyu said the first place was his. He was confident. Even though he took first place, Lin Moyu's emotions only fluctuated slightly. His gaze fell on the rewards in the air. The elementary flash skill scroll is very useful to him. Far away, at the Shajing Academy. When Ning Taran saw this scene, he blew his top. "Smelly kid, let go of Yi." Bai Yiyuan laughed heartily. "Old Ning, as you just saw, it was your granddaughter who hugged my Moyu first. If anyone has to let go, it should be your granddaughter." Ning Taran snorted. "Smelly kid, if you bully Yi, I'll make you pay." Bai Yiyuan slapped his thigh and said, "Don't worry, my Moyu won't bully others." As he said, "My Moyu," Bai Yiyuan's tone was affectionate. Ning Taran said no more. The treasure he went to great pains to raise was bamboozled in the end. In the low-level venue, the 3 groupings quickly reached the final outcome. Shajing Academy is the best academy of the Shengxia Empire for a reason. Even if the whole world is taken into account, it is still a first-class entity. Except for the level 10 grouping, the first place of which was seized by the Jundan Academy, the first place of the level 20 and level 30 groupings were all taken by the Shajing Academy. The first place of the level 20 grouping was won by Lin Moyu's team. The first place of the level 30 grouping was won by an official team of the Shajing Academy. Overall, the Shengxia Empire took first place in the 3 groupings below level 40 of the class user competition. This proves that the Shengxia Empire is indeed one of the most powerful countries in the world. Small countries and small forces are simply unable to compete with the Shengxia Empire. In previous class user competitions, such a thing has happened from time to time. Once the Shengxia Empire even won first place of all groupings of both the team competition and the individual competition. So the world was not surprised by this result. Next came the awarding of the rewards. A powerful class user appeared in midair, a terrifying aura exuding from him. Merely the aura naturally emanating from him made it hard for others to breathe. This person is at least level 80. What a terrifying aura. Above level 80 peak class user. What a rare sight. Awesome. I wish I could reach this level. Forget it. You have to go through the second awakening first. Class users below level 40 are referred to as low-level class users. Between level 40 and level 69, after completing the second awakening, class users are referred to as high-level class users. Class users at this level are common. Finally, there are class users above level 70, who have completed the third awakening. They are at the upper echelon of class users and are known as top class users. Top class users are rare, and even 1 in 100 class users may not necessarily be able to reach this level. After level 70, every consecutive level comes with a huge increase in attributes. As a result, they are further differentiated. Class users between level 70 and level 79 are referred to as top class users. Class users between level 80 and level 89 are referred to as peak class users. Once they reach level 90, class users can be called godly class users. The number of godly class users is very small. Despite how powerful the Shengxia Empire is, it only has a handful of godly class users. Such characters are like blades, piercing into the hearts of abyssal demons, propping up the sky above mankind. Bai Yiyuan, Ning Taran, Meng Anwen, these 3 are all godly class users. They are pillars of the Shengxia Empire and even the entire human race. Such characters won't appear easily. Ordinary people can only see them in textbooks or portraits. The above level 80 peak class user in midair is already considered a high-ranking big shot. When Su Sheng looked at him, he had no choice but to shed the pride and arrogance on his face. Despite being a legendary class user, he can't guarantee he will be able to exceed level 80. In the later stages, it's really difficult to raise your level. After the third awakening, many legendary class users are struggling to make progress, with every step forward coming at a huge cost. For an above level 80 class user to present the rewards, this is a great honor. His aura gradually vanished, and his majestic and profound gaze swept over the 3 teams that took first place. You guys are pretty good. Your future is promising. Except for Lin Moyu and Ning Yi, the rest looked extremely flattered. To receive praise from such a big shot, it is normal to be happy. Lin Moyu remained calm as usual. After all, he has dealings with godly class users like Bai Yiyuan and Meng Anwen. In comparison, peak class users are not that great. As for Ning Yi, her grandfather is a godly class user. In her eyes, peak class users are nothing special. My name is Shu Wei. You can also call me Sir Shu. If there's anything you need in the future, you can come to me. I might be able to help you somewhat. Shu Wei spoke faintly and waved his hand, causing the 3 sets of rewards floating in midair to fly down. Lin Moyu felt a bit strange. To say they can come to him, is he trying to rope us in? Ning Yi whispered, that was a bit strange. She felt that something is wrong, but can't put her finger on it. Lin Moyu felt the same way. When they heard Shu Wei's name, some immediately guessed his identity. Shu Wei is one of the 12 counselors of the Shengxia Empire, a true high-ranking figure of the empire, a big shot who can influence the empire's policies. No wonder he looks a familiar. It turns out he is Counselor Shu Wei. Counselor Shu Wei is one of the 12 counselors of the empire. He's a truly influential figure. Is he more powerful than God Bai? It's not the same. God Bai is a godly class user, a pillar of the empire. Shu Wei is very strong and amazing and has great authority. But compared to God Bai, he is not up to par. Even so, he is still an extremely esteemed figure. The rewards automatically flew to in front of the 3 teams that took first place. Shu Wei personally handed the rewards to them. He handed the chest containing gold coins, magical draft, and elementary flash skill scroll to Lin Moyu and said, "Young man, if you have any difficulties, you can come to me. Before Lin Moyu could answer, Shu Wei said to Ning Yi, "Say hello to Mr. Ning for me. I will come visit him when I have time." Ning Yi nodded, "Okay." Duan Gao asked in a low voice, "Yi, do you know Counselor Shu?" Ning Yi shook her head and said, "I don't." "What?" Ning Yi said, "Maybe he knows me." Duan Gao wanted to ask more, but Miao Yu pulled him by the arm and hinted for him to not ask any more. They know that Ning Yi has an extraordinary background. It's possible that the elders in her family know Shu Wei. After Shu Wei presented the rewards, he announced loudly, "The team competition below level 40 has officially concluded. The individual competition will be held here tomorrow. Contestants, please prepare well for the competition. I wish all contestants good luck." After he finished speaking, Shu Wei flew away. He disappeared from sight in the blink of an eye. Since the beginning of the class user competition, the Shengxia Empire has never held any grand ceremonies. Even the rewards were awarded in such a simple and casual manner. This behavior is in line with the straightforward approach of class users. No need for turns and twists, just go straight to the point. Only strength is real, everything else is flitting. Lin Moyu looked at the chest, potion, and scroll in front of him and then reached out to grab the chest. At the moment when his fingers touched the chest, something felt wrong. Some kind of aura seeped into his body. Subsequently, Lin Moyu tried to perceive it again, but couldn't find anything. Thinking he made a mistake, he dismissed the feeling. Lin Moyu collected the chest. They'll divide the 50 million gold coins later, 10 million per person. This isn't much to him. But to Zhang Taotao and the others, it is a considerable sum. Duan Gao was already salivating, anticipating the division of the money. Lin Moyu took the magical draft next, and detection flew out in response. Elementary magical draft. All attributes plus 200 permanent, only effective when taken for the first time. All attributes are permanently increased by 200 points. In later stages, 200 points can only be considered a drop in the bucket. But in early stages, it can be considered a very good bonus, comparable to a piece of gold equipment. Elementary magical draft is extremely valuable. Even if you have the money, you won't be able to buy it. Someone once offered for 100 million gold coins to purchase elementary magical draft, but couldn't find a seller. Its only drawback is that it can only be used once. In order to continue to permanently increase your attributes, you will have to take intermediate magical draft and advanced magical draft in the future. Lin Moyu tossed the potion to Ning Yi and said, "Drink it." At the same time, he collected the elementary flash skill scroll. In the Godbai courtyard, when Lin Moyu touched the chest, Meng Anwen opened his mouth and said, "The fish has bitten." Bai Yiyuan raised his eyebrows and asked, "Who?" Meng Anwen responded in a deep voice, "Shu Wei. Although it's not 100% certain, but it's pretty close. I'll take another look and be sure soon." Ning Taran said in a low voice, "It's actually him. Be carefully, don't make any mistakes. If it is really him, that's a big deal." The Demon Worship Society's people unexpectedly infiltrated to this extent. Chapter 184. Sister is also bait, luring out the Demon Worship Society. As one of the 12 counselors of the Shengxia Empire, Shu Wei has a very high status. He can be said to be second only to Godbai and other such figures in terms of status. If he is really an infiltrator, it will not only have a huge impact on the Shengxia Empire, but will also have a huge impact on the entire human race. If even the Shengxia Empire has such a high-ranking infiltrator, it can be imagined how small countries and small forces are faring. Meng Anwen continued to observe quietly, his eyes closed. This is no small matter. He needs to carefully verify it. The team competition ended, and Lin Moyu and Ning Yi went to the high-level venue. The high-level competition has also come to an end. At this time, rewards are being awarded. Counselor Shu Wei is the presenter for the high-level competition as well. Lin Mohan's team obtained first place in the level 40 grouping. In the history of the class user competition, every time there was a team from the Chuangshan Institute participating, it would take first place without exception. In the Shajing Academy, the top 3 institutes are the Chuangshan Institute, Chuangshi Institute, and Yanwang Institute. The Chuangshan Institute has always ranked first. In the high-level competition, the teams that took first place in the 3 groupings will receive the same reward, namely 500 million gold coins, an intermediate flash skill scroll, and an intermediate magical draft. The intermediate magical draft can permanently increase all attributes by 2000. For level 40 plus class users, this is not a small amount. Lin Moyu was very happy to see Lin Mohan take first place. He felt like there was something wrong with the chest. Yi, use your skill to observe the chest with the gold coins. Ning Yi promptly activated her skill. Skill, Shadow Vision. The world in Ning Yi's eyes suddenly changed. The colorful world turned into a black and white world. In this state, even deeply hidden things can't escape Ning Yi's eyes. She could even see the gold coins in the chest if she wanted. Under Shadow Vision, Ning Yi noticed that something was wrong. There is indeed something wrong. I can see a black aura in the chest. It's similar to Abyssal Demon aura, but not quite the same. Ning Yi isn't really certain. She has been in contact with Abyssal Demons before, and feels that the aura is somewhat similar. Because he had been in contact with Abyssal Demons, Lin Moyu was able to tell that something was fishy. Now that he has Ning Yi's corroboration, he is sure that his feeling wasn't wrong. At this moment, Lin Mohan came into contact with the chest. Ning Yi said in a quiet voice, the black aura entered Sister Han's wrist. Ning Yi has a nervous look on her face. She looked at Lin Moyu, and then let out a low cry, Moyu, you also have it on your wrist. Oh, I also have it on my wrist. The black aura entered Lin Mohan from the chest, then dispersed and entered the wrists of each member of her team. It lurked there, still, undetectable. The black aura is extremely unusual. Ning Yi uttered. Sister Han discovered the black aura, but she showed no response. She smiled instead. Under Shadow Vision, the slightest reaction of Lin Mohan could not escape Ning Yi's eyes. A thought welled up inside Lin Moyu, don't tell me, his sister is also bait. He recalled Bai Yiyuan telling him that he wasn't the only bait. Thinking about it, it's highly possible that Lin Mohan is also bait. There is no other way to explain her reaction. Lin Moyu carefully recalled what Bai Yiyuan told him at that time. He has to act as bait and showcase his abilities, so that enemies hidden within the human race can be dredged out. Within the human race, there is a colony of rats, and they are known as the Demon Worship Society. The society worships abyssal demon kings and wants to help them invade the human world. No one knows why they would want to do this. There have been several tragic incidents in the history of humanity, and they have been caused by them. 2 years ago, several geniuses of the Shengxia Empire have been assassinated by them. At that time, Bai Yiyuan stepped in and killed a few guys, but unfortunately they were all small fish. This time Bai Yiyuan used Lin Moyu as bait to lure out larger fish. He needs Lin Moyu to showcase his exceptional strength and amazing abilities, but not to reveal them all at once. This way it won't be easy to find him out. As such, Lin Moyu gradually revealed his strength, but still held back part of it. Just the part he revealed is enough to attract the attention from the whole world. Moreover, Bai Yiyuan mentioned that he is not the sole bait. Lin Mohan is highly likely to be bait as well. Using himself as bait, Lin Moyu didn't consider the danger at all. However, using Lin Mohan as bait, Lin Moyu began to worry about her safety. Seeing the hesitant look on Lin Moyu's face, Ning Yi uttered, don't worry, Sister Han is really awesome. Everything will be alright. As a mid-level legendary class user, she is much stronger than guys like Su Sheng and Zhou Lesheng. It's not that easy to kill her. After listening to Ning Yi's words, Lin Moyu finally relaxed a bit. Makes sense. Bai Yiyuan must have considered the issue of safety. Nothing should go wrong. In the dead of night, the entire Nanhong city was still brightly lit. The encampment of the class user competition has fallen silent, the class users either meditating or sleeping. Tomorrow is the individual competition, and many contestants are gathering their energy and preparing for tomorrow. The rules of the individual competition are currently unknown and will not be announced until tomorrow. The format of the competition changes every year and cannot be guessed. All of a sudden, the lights of the entire city stopped for a moment. The sound of waves suddenly became louder. Subsequently, a strong wind surged, and the waves rose hundreds of meters high, about to submerge the entire city. For the class user competition, the Shengxia Empire has reclaimed land, and so the coastline has expanded to 1,000 meters into the ocean. The place where the competition venues are located was originally part of the sea. At this moment, the competition venues are shrouded in curtains of light, undergoing renovation in preparation for tomorrow's individual competition. Under the impact of the waves, the curtains of light shook violently. The two huge curtains of light shrouding the high-level and the low-level venues burst out with brilliant light, illuminating half of Nanhong City. As if a giant that suddenly awoke, Nanhong City broke out with dazzling light. At the time, there are dark clouds in the sky, spewing thunderous lightning. In an instant, the entire Nanhong City was shrouded in lightning. The bolts of lightning weren't random, but each aimed at a teleportation formation. In an instant, the teleportation formations of Nanhong City were all destroyed. Even the teleportation formations hidden deep haven't escaped this fate. Following the lightning, a huge barrier fell and, as if an upside-down bowl, landed on Nanhong City. Most of Nanhong City was shrouded in the barrier, including the class user competitions venues and encampments. The barrier extends 10 kilometers beyond the coastline, covering a large area of the ocean. The entire process took less than 1 second. By the time the class users reacted, the barrier had already formed. At this time, most of Nanhong City has been trapped, with nowhere to escape. Chapter 185. Barrier Encirclement, Demon Worship Society's Surprise Attack. Lin Moyu looked up at the barrier that appeared abruptly, his mind a lake without ripples. No matter when the Demon Worship Society decided to move, it would be within expectation. From what Bai Yiyuan said before, he knew that the Demon Worship Society either won't take action at all, or it will make a move before the end of the class user competition. Otherwise, when the competition is over, the class users will leave Nanhong City and spread around the world, making it difficult to find them again. At this time, they are all gathered in Nanhong City. Legendary class users who have yet to mature and teams that took first place are in Nanhong City, and they can be all trapped in one go. If they die here, it will be a serious blow to both the Shengxia Empire and the entire human race. This is much more damaging than simply destroying a city. No matter how many ordinary class users you kill, it won't measure up to killing a single legendary class user. And if things go well, several legendary class users can be killed. The best solution is to strangle them in the cradle before they have mature. The demon kings in the abyss don't want to see powerhouses like Godbai appear in the human race again. What's going on? What's happening? Is this a barrier? Oh my god, such a huge barrier, is this the doing of some godly class user? What are they after? The previously quiet encampment turned noisy. Class users sensed something was unusual and walked out into the open one after another. Ning Yi ran out of her room and joined Lin Moyu's side. Did they start already? Lin Moyu nodded, they're unexpectedly fast. As he spoke, he applied bone armor on himself and Ning Yi. At this time, Zhang Taotao, Duan Gao, and Miao Yu quickly ran over. Lin Moyu promptly applied bone armor on the three. In a while, be careful. The three don't understand what is happening. Seeing Lin Moyu's solemn expression, Zhang Taotao asked, what's going on? Lin Moyu said softly, it's the Demon Worship Society. Zhang Taotao's expression changed drastically, what? Why would they attack at this time? This is Nanhong City, where the class user competition is being held. Why would these rats attack at this time? The countenance of Duan Gao and Miao Yu changed greatly. They all know about the Demon Worship Society. Despite being humans themselves, these lunatics worship demons. They are constantly trying to destroy humanity. More class users came out and looked at the giant barrier in the air in disbelief. The barrier is shimmering with lightning. Crackle. Lightning flashed and thundered, and the sky turned bright. Nanhong City instantly entered daytime. Massive electric serpents swimming in the barrier charged toward the class users. The class users let strange cries and assumed combat postures. To set up such a large barrier, at least a peak barrier master is required. It's bound to have astonishing power. The lightning struck out, but before it landed, the ground in the encampment had already started to crack. The earth shook, as if it were the end of the world. How terrible! Oh my god, we're all going to die. It's over. This can't be stopped. What do we do? Are we going to die? Many class users already started despairing. Such a powerful attack, this isn't something they can resist. At this moment, even Lin Moyu had a solemn expression, unsure if his bone armor could withstand it. All of a sudden, two huge shields rose from the two encampments and blocked the lightning. At the same time, arrows of light ejected out from the encampments, heading straight for the barrier. The arrows of light exploded, causing the barrier to shake violently. All lightning disappeared in this instant. The barrier buzzed and hummed, and a large amount of black aura flowed out. 10 black-clad people wearing masks appeared in the air. Standing tall in the air, they exude huge pressure. The 10 black-clad people are all above level 70 top-class users. Then another person appeared, his aura even more majestic. Lin Moyu's pupils contracted. Although this person is inferior to God Bai, but he is at least an above level 80 peak class user. He is on par with Counselor Shu Wei, whom they met in the afternoon. The masks the black-clad people are wearing are special items. Ning Yi shook her head and said, I can't see. Her shadow vision can't penetrate through the masks. It's over. It's the Demon Worship Society. How is this possible? Why would these guys come here? They are really bold. To show themselves in the Shengxia Empire, aren't they afraid that God Bai will wipe them out? That requires God Bai to find them. These people hide too deeply. Some recognize the clothing of the black-clad people. These black-clad people have special emblems on their cuffs and collars, which represent different abyssal demon kings. That's because members of the Demon Worship Society worship different demon kings. The people can recognize them as emblems of the Demon Worship Society at a glance. 1 above level 80 peak class user and 10 above level 70 top class users. No matter where it is placed, this force is considered very powerful. It is more than enough to destroy some small forces. The leader of the group from the Demon Worship Society snorted coldly, kill. The voice was cold and heartless. 9 black-clad people immediately flew down. Some took out a bow and arrows, others took out a stave, and yet others took out a sword. They shone with status buff light. The 9 black-clad people formed a team, assisted by an above level 70 Battle King support. The 9 people rushed toward the 2 encampments, 6 toward the high-level encampment, and 3 toward the low-level encampment. The encampments, shields shone brightly, blocking their attacks. But under their powerful attacks, the shields shook unsteadily. They obviously can't hold on for too long. Although the class users in the encampments are scared, but not a single one retreated. They are all ready for battle. These are true class users, unafraid of a fight to the death. The waves surged, and tens of thousands of abyssal demonic creatures rushed out of the ocean. These abyssal demonic creatures have been hiding at the bottom of the ocean. The Demon Worship Society clearly made extensive preparations. Different from the abyssal demonic creatures Lin Moyu has seen on the dimensional battlefield, these demonic creatures were originally monsters roaming the ocean. They were contaminated by the abyss's power and turned into abyssal demonic creatures. Kill, sweet human flesh, here I come. After hiding for so many days, I can finally eat human flesh. A large number of abyssal demons rushed out along with the abyssal demonic creatures and roared with bloodthirsty excitement. Alarms sounded in Nanhong City. Large numbers of combat-type class users gather. In the area of Nanhong City shrouded by the barrier, there are many class users. They formed teams and received status buffs, ready for combat. The abyssal demonic creatures that rushed ashore charged into Nanhong City like crazy and engaged the class users. Lin Moyu suddenly saw his wrist shining. It's the doing of the black aura that drilled into his body when he touched the chest. At this moment, the black aura shone brightly, and Lin Moyu became extremely conspicuous in the crowd. The same happened to Ning Yi, Zhang Taotao, and the other 2. At this time, the teams that took first place in the team competition look like beacons. There, kill them. Having found their targets, the abyssal demons commanded the tens of thousands of abyssal demonic creatures to charge toward the enemy. Chapter 186. Shengxia Tower's main body arrives, individual competition begins. The teams that took first place in the team competition are the primary targets of the demons. Thousands of abyssal demons rushed over with a massive number of abyssal demonic creatures. It's unknown how the Demon Worship Society brought so many abyssal demons here. But at this moment, that isn't important. The shields protecting the encampments were tottering, on the verge of collapse. Among the abyssal demons, there are both low-level and high-level demons. They roared and bellowed, filled with bloodthirst. Get ready for battle. The shield is about to break. Get ready. Come on, let's kill them. At the last moment, the class users put their fears aside. Even though they're the weaker side, but they will still face the enemy with heads held high. The gaze of the above level 80 peak class user of the Demon Worship Society fell on the high-level encampment, where the situation was similar. There are even more abyssal demons rushing toward there. In addition, there are 6 above level 70 top class users over there. The opponent stands no chance. At this time, his eyes revealed a playful hue. Courage is all and good, but it won't do you any good. The outcome is already set in stone. People who are too outstanding often do not live long. He muttered to himself. I don't think so. My life at least has been quite good so far. A voice rose abruptly. The man suddenly turned around and saw Bai Yiyuan. So you've come, God Bai. Bai Yiyuan chuckled and said, it appears that you've been expecting me, Counselor Shu Wei. The man trembled, then sighed lightly and took off his mask. It is indeed Shu Wei. I knew I couldn't keep it from you, God Bai. Shu Wei said softly. Despite being faced with Bai Yiyuan, Shu Wei wasn't afraid at all. He must have made preparation. Ha ha, without a fallback, no one would dare to provoke you, God Bai. A pleasant laughter sounded, and a female demon appeared beside Shu Wei. The demon has pointy ears, a gorgeous face, and a graceful figure, a slender tail slowly swaying behind her. She exudes a strange allure from all over her body. After she appeared, Shu Wei's eyes revealed a fervent shade. In Shu Wei's eyes, Bai Yiyuan was no longer there. Only the female demon remained. Bai Yiyuan dug his ear and said, so it's you, Succubus King. And here I was wondering who could turn a level 83 peak class user into a lackey of the demons. It turns out it was you. The Succubus King smiled charmingly and twisted her figure. Unfortunately I can't entice you, God Bai. Bai Yiyuan slowly clenched his fists. Since you've come, you'll have to stay here forever. Anyone who dares to provoke the Shengxia Empire will have to pay a price. The Succubus King's smile became more alluring. You seem quite confident, God Bai. But, I have no intention of staying. I am only here to kill people. After I am done, I will leave. That isn't up to you. Bai Yiyuan set his sights on the Succubus King and has no intention of letting her go. The Succubus King smiled lovely and said, God Bai, are you that confident that you can make me stay? If you count me in, then yes. Another voice rang, and Ning Taran appeared beside Bai Yiyuan. Boom! Flames exploded and engulfed the sky. Old Ning, I'll be your opponent. A booming voice sounded. A demon emerged from the sea of fire, its whole body is shrouded in flames. Its eyes, in particular, are filled with billowing flames. Fire Demon King. Ning Taran gritted his teeth and said ferociously. There's clearly an old grudge between the two. The Succubus King said with a lovely smile, one-on-one, now it's fair. All of a sudden, there was a loud bang. The shield of the low-level encampment was the first to break. A massive number of demonic creatures rushed in. The class users have resolved themselves to fight to the death. Divine Eye Sniper Lu Shanren was already done gathering power. An arrow shot into the sky and exploded. Skill, Ruinous Arrow Blast. In an instant, a massive number of arrows fell. The explosion was overwhelming, and a large number of low-level abyssal demonic creatures screamed in agony. In the blink of an eye, a large area of death appeared. The arrows also fell on the abyssal demons, causing them to scream in pain. But they weren't able to harm to them. After all, Lu Shanren is only level 29. The weakest abyssal demons are level 35, and there is no shortage of above level 40 high-level demons. Pure white sacred light suddenly emerged from the encampment. Sacred Light Mage, Su Sheng. Skill, Sacred Light. The sacred light covered a large area, illuminating most of the encampment. Within the sacred light, abyssal demonic creatures died without making a sound. As for abyssal demons, as if they met their bane, black smoke emitted from all over their bodies. The sacred light, which contains holy power, is a most detestable thing to them, and is their natural nemesis. The two killed hundreds of abyssal demonic creatures in the blink of an eye. Due to their outstanding performance, high-level demons and two top-class users of the Demon Worship Society set their sights on the two and quickly rushed toward them. The Succubus King said with a smile, meaningless resistance. The struggle before death is most lovely. The flesh of geniuses is most delicious. I would really like to catch them, bring them back to the abyss, and then slowly savor them. As she spoke, she slowly licked her lips with her long tongue. Bai Yiyuan uttered, unconcerned, I'm not sure about that. There is meaning in the existence of genius. All of a sudden, a rumbling echoed. A tower suddenly appeared outside the barrier. Under the pressure of the tower, the incredibly sturdy barrier shattered like glass. The Shengxia Tower's main body has arrived. Meng Anwen has come. Crap, we've been had. The Succubus King's complexion finally changed. The Shengxia Tower instantly crushed the barrier. In the blink of an eye, it became infinitely large and emitted brilliant light. The Shengxia Tower turned into a sun and illuminated the entire Nanhong city. Illuminated by the light, all the abyssal demons and abyssal demonic creatures in Nanhong City disappeared. At the same time, all the class users who registered for the individual competition also disappeared. In an instant, Nanhong City, which was about to suffer a devastating disaster, returned to normal. As the Shengxia Tower collected the abyssal demonic creatures and class users, Bai Yiyuan let out a furious roar. A pair of hand wraps appeared on his hands. Bai Yiyuan unleashed a punch, and the space shook violently and surged a large amount of ripples. Bai Yiyuan's class is Divine Fist Overlord. Skill, Blast Fist. The Succubus King let out a strange cry. Not daring to meet the attack head-on, she backed away at once. Ning Taran moved at the same time. Skill, Fire Dragon. Flames burst out and transformed into a dragon that shot toward the Fire Demon King. The two godly powerhouses struck at the same time. At the same time as they moved, a large teleportation formation flickered underneath Nanhong City, and dozens of class users with the emblem of the Shajing Academy appeared underneath Nanhong City. They are all above level 70 top class users, with several above level 80 peak class users sprinkled in the middle, their aura tremendous. The leader of this group drew his sword and swung it, and sword energy instantly broke through the earth, and then the group rushed out into the open and went straight for the members of the Demon Worship Society. The Succubus King took everything in, realizing that they have been fooled. The Shengxia Empire has been ready. Otherwise, there's no way the Shengxia Tower's main body would have appeared here. Otherwise, the barrier wouldn't have been crushed so easily. This is their loss. Run, the Succubus King shouted. Her words have just fallen, when a low growl sounded, "You can't leave." When she heard that, Succubus King's expression became unsightly. The Fire Demon King, who was fighting Ning Taran, let out a strange cry, his eyes filled with fear. The Shengxia Tower divided into two spaces, one for high-level class users, and the other for low-level class users like Lin Moyu. Each space is further subdivided into 3 independent areas, corresponding to level 10, level 20, and level 30 groupings. The individual competition starts now. Chapter 187. Other people can only twiddle their thumbs. Meng Anwen's voice echoed throughout the entire Shengxia Tower. Lin Moyu had already guessed that Bai Yiyuan and company would step in, that nothing untoward would happen. As such, he wasn't in a hurry to make a move just now. Bai Yiyuan and company have already made arrangements, waiting to give the demons a taste of their own medicine. What took him aback was the fact that Meng Anwen took advantage of the abyssal demon's raid to hold the individual competition. It makes sense when you think about it. Regardless whether your class is strong or weak, you still have to ultimately go to the battlefield to kill demons. This is the meaning behind the existence of class users. In front of the class users, there are countless abyssal demonic creatures and a large number of demons. As if caged, they struggled and roared madly, but to no avail. Meng Anwen's voice continued to ring. The level 10 grouping will be facing level 22 abyssal demonic creatures, for a total of 4,320. A total of 432 class users have passed the pre-selection of the level 10 grouping, and they will be facing 10 times as many abyssal demonic creatures. They won't be facing demons. A large hand appeared in the air, plunged into the midst of the abyssal demonic creatures, and grabbed a bunch, no more and no less than 4,320. These demonic creatures were thrown aside like garbage, and their levels quickly dropped, from above level 30 to level 22. The level 20 grouping will be facing level 32 abyssal demonic creatures and level 35 abyssal demons, for a total of 7,520. Unlike the level 10 grouping, the level 20 grouping will also be facing abyssal demons. The level 30 grouping will be facing level 42 abyssal demonic creatures and level 45 abyssal demons, for a total of 4,990. Following the same pattern, some abyssal demonic creatures had their levels suppressed, while others had their levels upgraded. Meng Anwen's methods are extraordinary. Lin Moyu watched in amazement. Everything seemed to be under his control. Is this the strength of a godly powerhouse? One day I will also reach the godly level. Lin Moyu felt slight excitement, full of expectations for the godly level. Killing an abyssal demonic creature will earn you 1 point, killing an abyssal demon will earn you 100 points. The contestant with the most points will take first place. The rules are simple and crude. You just have to kill more than anyone else. Everyone, activate the Legion mode and join the Legion. By forming a Legion, friendly fire can be avoided. In this way, everyone can discard their reservations and fight with all their might. Su Sheng's eyes surged with a shade of provocation. Lin Moyu, let's compete again. Let's see who kills more. While Su Sheng found Lin Moyu, Lu Shanren found him. Su Sheng, although your class's ranking is higher than mine, but on the battlefield, I won't lose to you. Su Sheng said with pride and arrogance, you're a loser who was defeated at my hands. This time things won't be any different. Lu Shanren snorted coldly, you can say that about yourself as well. After all, you are also a loser who was defeated by another's hands. Su Sheng's countenance changed, and he let out a low growl and said no more. Sacred light shone in his hand. He was ready. Lu Shanren, with bow and arrow in hand, started gathering power, making reparations for his skill. 1 minute later, Meng Anwen's voice rang again. Start the competition. In an instant, a channel between the class users and the abyssal demonic creatures opened. A large number of abyssal demonic creatures rushed forward like crazy. Some flying demons also shot forward. These flying demons are incredibly agile, making it hard for low-level class users to kill them. Skill. Sacred Light. Skill. Ruinous Arrow Blast. Su Sheng and Lu Shanren started at the same time. Sacred Light expanded out. Arrows rained down. Su Sheng can eliminate at least 100 abyssal demonic creatures with this strike. As long as he unleashes his skill a few times, no one will be able to contend against him. Unlike him, Lu Shanren needs to accumulate power every time he activates his skill, costing him valuable time. As he used his skill, Su Sheng glanced at Lin Moyu. Why isn't this guy summoning his skeletons? Su Sheng felt a bit strange. Lin Moyu didn't summon a single skeleton. Is he going to give up? Lu Shanren's ruinous arrow blast skill is very powerful. Each arrow unleashed by it explode with a loud bang. At this time miserable cries rose. Some abyssal demonic creatures have already been killed. Boom! All of a sudden, a completely different explosion sounded, suppressing the bangs caused by ruinous arrow blast. The earth shook violently. Skill. Corpse explosion. What happened? Who was doing this? Su Sheng's eyes welled up with disbelief. In that explosion, a large tract of abyssal demonic creatures died. The power of this attack is much greater than that of his sacred light. He turned and saw Lin Moyu, his hand uplifted. It's him. Su Sheng's pupils suddenly contracted into dots. It's actually Lin Moyu. Not only him, but Lu Shanren and some other class users also noticed Lin Moyu at this time. This explosion was clearly caused by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is not only a summoner, but also a mage. He himself also possesses offensive power. Booming explosions sounded one after another, and abyssal demonic creatures fell like mowed grass. Every booming explosion can claim the lives of hundreds of abyssal demonic creatures. At this moment, Lin Moyu dashed out. The abyssal demonic creatures within his skill's range have already been wiped out. Not a single struggler remains. The remaining abyssal demonic creatures continued to charge forward, and so the distance between the two sides rapidly shrank. Lin Moyu raised his hand and continued to cast his skill, and thunderous explosions rose one after another. In less than half a minute, the 7,000 plus abyssal demonic creatures have all died. Only some abyssal demons, who seized an opportunity to run, narrowly escaped with their lives. A few unlucky ones, who didn't run fast enough, were blown down from the air and then were submerged by massive explosions. At this moment, skeletal warriors appeared next to Lin Moyu. The skeletal warriors threw the corpses of abyssal demonic creatures into the air. Lin Moyu's palm lit up with red light. Skill. Slowing curse. The demons in the air wanted to run, but found that their movement speed dropped sharply. The corpses approached rapidly. With the strength of the skeletal warriors, the corpses flew as fast as arrows. Boom, boom, boom. The corpses detonated in midair one by one. Several demons were killed in the explosions. The remaining demons, with the curse placed on them, flew away with all their might, not daring to get close. However, this is not the outside, but an internal space of the Shengxia Tower. Meng Anwen would never let them escape. After a short while, they bumped into the edge of the internal space. They had no way to escape. The skeletal warriors on the ground have already thrown another batch of corpses into the air. Subsequently, the remaining demons were swallowed by explosions. From start to finish, only 3 minutes have passed. The battle has ended. Of the 7,520 demonic creatures and demons, at least 7,500 were killed by Lin Moyu. Everyone stared at Lin Moyu in a daze. If you kill them all by yourself, what should other people do? Twiddle their thumbs. Is this still the individual competition? Or is it a one-man show with Lin Moyu as the performer? No one could have imagined that Lin Moyu's AoE attack skill would be this powerful enough to instantly kill abyssal demons. The tip of the iceberg has been lifted further. He can summon, curse, and unleash AoE attacks. His summoned skeletons can engage in melee and ranged combat. This class is close to perfect. Su Sheng swallowed with difficulty, no longer able to muster his pride. What the hell is this class? After holding it in for a while, he finally managed to spit out a sentence. Lu Shanren laughed heartily. Serves you right. Now you know who the real deal is. Compared to Lin Moyu, your class is nothing. Su Sheng glared at Lu Shanren, but didn't refute him. Indeed, compared to Lin Moyu, he seems pathetic. The military badge on Lin Moyu's chest lit up, and a large amount of military merit flooded in. A third star appeared on his military badge. Chapter 188. 3-star Lieutenant, taking advantage of the Demon Worship Society. Killing one abyssal demonic creature will earn you 1 military merit. The more than 7,000 abyssal demonic creatures are equivalent to more than 7,000 military merit. At the same time, there is still the dozens of abyssal demons, which add up to another several thousand military merit. Although they were in Legion mode, but because these abyssal demonic creatures were all killed by Lin Moyu, Meng Anwen assigned the military merit to him. Lin Moyu's military merit increased by 13,000 at once. His overall military merit reached 36,000, making him a 3-star lieutenant. Unfortunately, since they were in Legion mode, the EXP was equally divided, and so Lin Moyu didn't receive much express. He is still some distance away from level 28. Lin Moyu's military badge appeared in everyone's line of sight. Silver, 3-star lieutenant. He turned out to be a 3-star lieutenant. Oh my god, how many demons and demonic creatures did he have to kill in order to reach 3-star lieutenant? At least 30,000 military merit, that's incredible. They appear to have forgotten what just happened. The lieutenant rank military badge is just too mesmerizing. Su Sheng was shocked once again. He quietly took off his badge. He is just a private, a 1-star private. Compared to Lin Moyu's 3-star lieutenant, this doesn't count for nothing. Lu Shanren saw this and laughed heartily. You're just a 1-star private. Shut up, Su Sheng snapped. Lu Shanren displayed his military badge and said, I'm a 3-star private. That's 2 stars more than you. Su Sheng said angrily, get lost. I'll catch up to you sooner or later. We'll see about that, and even if you can catch up to me, it's probably impossible for you to catch up to Lin Moyu in this life. Su Sheng lowered his voice, saying, you don't know a damn thing. I'm a sacred light mage. In the later stages, I will only get stronger. Lin Moyu may become even stronger in the later stages. If you have only annoying things to say, then shut your stinky trap. Did you lose your confidence? Lu Shanren continued to use Lin Moyu to attack Su Sheng, happy to see Su Sheng deflated. The two kept arguing. At this point, their battle has ended. The battles of the other groupings were still going on. Lin Moyu looked slightly worried, wondering what was going on outside, wondering how Lin Mohan is doing. He trusts that Godbai made appropriate arrangements, but he still can't help but worry. In the other groupings, some people were killed by abyssal demons and abyssal demonic creatures and suffered fatal injuries. However, just like in the arena before, taking fatal damage here won't truly result in death. At most, they'll just be eliminated. In the Shengxia Tower, there is no issue with safety. However, Meng Anwen didn't tell them this, putting everyone under tremendous pressure. Only by walking the line between life and death, only then can true fighters be raised. Time elapsed and a full half an hour passed. At this time, everyone's vision blurred, and then they appeared at the encampments outside. The Shengxia Tower was nowhere to be seen. The encampments were brightly lit, the city was back to normal, as if nothing had happened. Not good, there's a corpse over there. It looks like it's a guy from the Demon Worship Society. There's more than one. Look, there's someone in the sky. A group of people stood in the sky. Lin Moyu recognized the emblem of the Shajing Academy on these people's clothes at a glance. They are all very powerful. They were evidently the ones who killed the members of the Demon Worship Society. In addition, Bai Yiyuan also stood in the air. Everyone, I am Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan's voice sounded slowly. Anyone who is a class user must have heard of Bai Yiyuan before. For class users of the Shengxia Empire, he is God Bai. For class users of other countries, he is Shengxia's god of slaughter. Everyone looked at Bai Yiyuan with respect, a shade of admiration in their eyes. Bai Yiyuan carried on, regarding the Demon Worship Society's assault, we anticipated it and prepared for it. I'm happy that you all stood your ground and proved yourselves as class user. Taking advantage of the Demon Worship Society, we chose a real combat format for the individual competition. We beat back the demons and wiped out the traitors. Next, we will announce the winners of the individual competition. With the low-level and high-level venues, the individual competition has a total of 6 groupings and 6 winners. In addition to Lin Moyu, the winners of the level 40 and level 60 groupings are also from the Shajing Academy. The Shajing Academy monopolized 3 first places. This can be said to be a great harvest. The winner of the level 50 grouping is from Then Jundan Academy. 4 people from the Shengxia Empire took first place in the individual competition. Only 2 first-place spots were claimed by other countries. Bai Yiyuan waved his hand, and the corresponding rewards appeared in the hands of each winner. The 3 high-level winners received an intermediate magical draft each. The 3 low-level 40 received an elementary magical draft each. Bai Yiyuan went on to say, tomorrow we will hold the unrestricted competition. Those who are interested can come and give it a try. I can tell you one thing in advance. The rewards for the unrestricted competition are quite generous. After he was done speaking, Bai Yiyuan turned and left together with the others who were standing in the air. Now that the incident has finally come to an end, everyone let out a long breath. Everyone started to talk about what happened. This was really unexpected. They actually made arrangements to take advantage of the Demon Worship Society. If you ask me, those guys from the Demon Worship Society were really foolish. Bullying some small force is one thing, but they actually dared to mess with the Shengxia Empire. They basically committed suicide. That's right. This is God Bai, Shengxia's god of slaughter, we're talking about. Yet those imbeciles dared to provoke him. Lin Moyu listened to the conversations. He knows some inside information. A couple of years ago, several geniuses of the Shengxia Empire have been killed. This is the reason behind today's incident. He served as bait, and so did Lin Mohan. However, the Demon Worship Society unexpectedly showed great appetite, trying to catch all the geniuses in one go. In the end, their efforts were exploited to hold the individual competition. Moyu. Along with a pleasant cry, Ning Yi rushed out from inside the encampment and threw herself into Lin Moyu's arms. Lin Moyu hugged her back and asked, "Are you okay?" Ning Yi shook her head, "I'm fine. You guys and the abyssal demonic creatures disappeared, and then the God Bai and company had a showdown with the abyssal demon kings. Let's talk while we walk." Lin Moyu pulled Ning Yi toward a side. That is the direction of the high-level encampment. He wants to find Lin Mohan. Ning Yi held Lin Moyu's arm tightly, saying, "The abyss initially dispatched the succubus king and fire demon king. God Bai fought against the succubus king, while my grandpa fought against the fire demon king. The Shajing Academy dispatched guards. Led by the deans of several institutes, they dealt with the people from the Demon Worship Society." Upon hearing about the fire demon king, Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask, "Is it that fire demon king we met before?" Ning Yi nodded, "It is. They were very powerful, nevertheless, they were still suppressed by God Bai and my grandpa." Lin Moyu asked, "What happened afterward? Were they killed?" Ning Yi shook her head. Next, an awesome person appeared. He seemed even more powerful than God Bai. When they saw him, the 2 demon kings got scared and tried to run away. But they were unable to escape. Subsequently, the succubus king used some kind of technique and summoned a black aura from the abyss. A giant hand burning with black flames extended from the black aura and exchanged a few blows with that person. In the end, they were at a deadlock. When the giant hand retreated, it took away both the succubus king and fire demon king. It even rescued Counselor Shu Wei. Demon kings are really hard to kill. Lin Moyu said softly in his heart. Who would have expected that Counselor Shu Wei is a member of the Demon Worship Society? Chapter 189, Have you already? In the God Bai courtyard, a pot of tea has just been brewed. Meng Anwen willed, and hot tea flowed out of the pot and into cups. Just as the tea was poured, footsteps sounded. Bai Yiyuan and Ning Taran strode in. Meng Anwen asked faintly, "Is it done?" Bai Yiyuan let out a sigh and, regardless whether the tea was hot or not, poured it into his mouth. Damn it! Blackfire unexpectedly stepped in and rescued Succubus and Fire. At this moment, Ning Taran's mood wasn't good either. If it weren't for Blackfire, that fire guy wouldn't have been able to escape. Meng Anwen asked strangely, didn't the old man do anything? Bai Yiyuan replied in a deep voice, he did. When the old man made a move, he scared Succubus to make a life offering and open a channel between the abyss and the human world, summoning Blackfire's hand. Meng Anwen understood, what a pity. Bai Yiyuan sighed, it's really a pity. If it weren't for Nanhong City, I would have made him pay in blood. In Nanhong City, godly class users like them can't fight with all their might. Otherwise, if they were to go all out, the whole city would be destroyed. Therefore, Bai Yiyuan restrained himself, and the same is true for Ning Taran. Meng Anwen said, if they ran, they ran. Anyway, they won't come back that easily. If there's a chance in the future, let's fight them together. Bai Yiyuan said in a deep voice, this can be considered a gain, at least that guy Shu Wei has been exposed. Ning Taran said, even Shu Wei has become one of them. We need to be careful. There might be others being controlled. That succubus's ability is a bit scary. Shu Wei is above level 80. He is one of the counselor of the Xingxia Empire. Yet even he fell under the enemy's control. Meng Anwen said, I will thoroughly investigate this matter. I'm going to comb through the empire. The three discussed things that could impact the entire empire in the small courtyard. Lin Moyu arrived at the entrance of the high-level encampment. The encampment is as bright as day. There are many high-level class users talking inside, discussing the previous battle. From a distance, Lin Moyu saw Lin Mohan standing at the gate. Lin Mohan also saw him and waved at him. Sister, were you waiting for me here? Lin Moyu asked strangely. Lin Mohan chuckled and said, I guessed you would come. Ah, this girl is so beautiful. Is she my sister-in-law? Surprised by Lin Mohan's directness, Ning Yi's pretty face turned red, too shy to speak. Lin Mohan smiled and said, it seems like I hit the nail on the head. Don't be scared, sister-in-law. Besides not liking to talk, my brother has no other faults. Ning Yi nodded and said, yes, I know. You know, have you already? Ning Yi felt like digging a hole in the ground and hiding. That's not what she meant. Who knew that Lin Moyu, who doesn't like to talk, would have a sister like this? She thought that Lin Mohan would also be a reserved person. The two siblings are polar opposites. Sister. Lin Moyu desperately shot her a look, urging her not to say any more. Lin Mohan responded with a look, indicating that she understands. Sister, will you participate in tomorrow's unrestricted competition? Lin Moyu changed topics. Lin Mohan shook her head and said, I won't. I was just about to tell you that I have to leave. Lin Moyu was startled, then promptly understood the meaning behind Lin Mohan's words. Do you have a new mission? It's not really new. Anyway, it's just more dungeon raiding and level grinding. Lin Mohan said lightly. It can be seen from her words that her teacher has high-level requirements. It looks like he is urging Lin Mohan to accelerate her leveling speed. Although Bai Yiyuan is also urging Lin Moyu, but he doesn't push him that hard. Lin Moyu asked, Sister, what is your level now? Lin Mohan chortled and said, I'm almost level 45. Brother, you need to step it up, or else the distance between us will only be lengthened. That would be really embarrassing. At least you're the Imperial top scorer. Ah, and you're also a 3-star lieutenant. No matter how strong the class itself is, level is most important. You will understand this when you reach the third awakening. Anyway, trust me, you must hurry up and raise your level. Don't slack off. Of course, talking to your girlfriend is also important. What's your name, little sister? My brother is a bit clumsy. He doesn't even know how to make introductions. Ning Yi blushed with embarrassment. Big sister, my name is Ning Yi. Ning Yi, that's a good name. If this guy dares to bully you, just tell me. I'll teach him a lesson for you. Don't worry, this guy has been beaten up by me ever since he was little. He won't fight back. On the coast, waves battered against the shore. The curtain of line has already disappeared. This time, the low-level and high-level venues were connected and merged into one. Today is the day of the unrestricted competition. The unrestricted competition is the last event of the class user competition. It is not a formal event. Nevertheless, it is more interesting than the previous two. This year's class user competition is somewhat special. Due to the Demon Worship Society's impact, the individual competition has been changed up. The audience didn't have the privilege to enjoy the individual competition. As a result, even more attention was shifted to the unrestricted competition. The unrestricted competition is different from the previous two competitions. You have to sign up on the spot and compete on the spot. There is no preselection. All class users can have a chance. Lin Moyu looked at the rules of the unrestricted competition and thought of what Bai Yiyuan said before. He must participate in the unrestricted competition and get a high achievement, the higher, the better. Now that he has seen the rules, he finally understands why Bai Yiyuan made such a request. The rewards for the unrestrained competition are great. Class users below level 40 who overcome the first challenge will be rewarded an elementary flash skill scroll. Those who overcome the second challenge will be rewarded an intermediate flash skill scroll. Those who overcome the third challenge will be rewarded a bottle of intermediate magical draft. Those who overcome the fourth will be rewarded 2 intermediate flash skill scrolls. Those who overcome the fifth. The rewards are very generous, far better than those of the team and individual competitions. Of course, the difficulty is also very high. In the first round alone, you have to challenge an opponent who is 5 levels above you. Take Lin Moyu as an example. Since he is currently level 27, his first opponent will be a level 32 class user. As for the opponent's class, it will be randomly selected between 3 classes, namely Knight, Mage, and Archer. In the second round, the opponent will be 10 levels above you. In the third round, it will be 15 levels. If Lin Moyu reached the third round, he will face a level 42 opponent. That is a high-level class user who has completed the second awakening. In the history of the unrestricted competition, very few people have been able to overcome the second challenge. At the same time, only a handful of people have been able to overcome the third challenge. As for the fourth challenge, not a single person has ever overcome it. The third challenge is a limit that hasn't been broken for hundreds of years. Some class users who have great confidence in themselves are eager to give it a try. A knight registered first and walked onto the arena. He is a class user from the Eagle Kingdom. His information appeared on the screen of light around the arena. Heroes, Sword and Shield Knight, level 34. In the next moment, his opponent appeared on the arena. The opponent is also a Sword and Shield Knight. However, his level is level 39. Lin Moyu sensed the other party's temperament and murmured, military personnel. Chapter 190, Shengxia Military Personnel, Worlds No. 1. Different from ordinary class users, Heroes' temperament is harsh and sharp. That is a temperament that can only be cultivated through multiple battles to the death. It can't be cultivated by solely raiding dungeons. Only by facing abyssal demonic creatures and even abyssal demons on the dimensional battlefield, for a protracted period of time, only then can such a temperament be cultivated. And he is only level 34, which isn't high. Evidently, he has been leading a military life. He is a member of the military. The level and combat power of this kind of person are often not proportional. If the opponent were an ordinary person, he should have a chance to overcome the challenge. Below level 40, there is still a chance to bridge a 5-level gap. Everyone speculated on whether heroes can overcome the challenge. But when Lin Moyu saw his opponent, he instinctively felt that heroes stands no chance. The defender is a level 39 Sword and Shield Knight wearing equipment that others haven't seen before. That is gold equipment unique to the military and is known as battlefield equipment. Battlefield equipment stems from the military. When compared to gold equipment of the same level, it may not be as good for raiding dungeons, but it is very suitable for battles. Its attribute boosts may not be high, but it will provide some special bonuses. Moreover, battlefield equipment can be adjusted and customized according to the specific characteristics of each class. This defender is from the military, from the Shengxia Empire's dimensional battlefield. Heroes was originally full of confidence, thinking that with his ability, challenging an opponent 5 level above him wouldn't be a problem. At least he should be able to get through one round. But when he saw his opponent, his confidence collapsed in an instant. The military personnel of the Shengxia Empire has solemn eyes and emits strong murderous intent. The murderous intent was like a tide, completely overwhelming Heroes. Tiny beads of perspiration appeared on Heroes' forehead. The match hasn't started yet, but he already felt like he had lost. The other party's momentum grew stronger and stronger. Heroes finally couldn't take it and made a move. Skill. Charge. Heroes raised his shield and darted forward like lightning. The defender also raised his shield and used the charge skill. At the moment when the two sides made contact, the shield of the defender suddenly emitted brilliant light. Skill. Shield Bash. He interrupted his charge skill and, at the moment of collision, changed it to Shield Bash. With a bang, Heroes was instantly knocked away. The power of shield bash far exceeds that of charge. While he was in midair, Heroes' head was dizzy. Shield bash has a stun effect. Heroes has fallen into a stun state. It's over, Lin Moyu muttered. His level was lower to begin with, then he lost the initiative, and now he was restrained. As long as the defender is not a rookie, Heroes is done for. Sure enough, the defender charged forward again. Although he didn't employ the charge skill, but his speed wasn't slow at all. Before Heroes could hit the ground, the opponent has already arrived below him. Skill, flash slash. The opponent's sword shone brightly, and a bright light soared into the sky. Heroes unleashed a miserable cry and was set flying again. The defender leapt high into the air and launched a second shield bash in midair, proceeding to restrain Heroes again. From this moment on, Heroes never got the chance to reach the ground. Merely 10 seconds later, after enduring a series of blows, Heroes appeared outside the arena. Heroes recovered thanks to treatment. He had a horrified look on his face. This wasn't a simple matter of a gap in levels. From the beginning of the battle, he wasn't given any opportunities. He couldn't even activate extreme defense. The Shangxia Empire's military personnel are really scary. A seed of fear was planted in Heroes' heart regarding the Shangxia Empire's military personnel. Although the battle lasted for less than 10 seconds, the entire process was breathtaking. Everyone held their breath, shocked by the dazzling display. Dang, that was marvelous. So this is our Shangxia military personnel, the world's #1 military. Our Shangxia military personnel are second to none. The Eagle Kingdom's military personnel are considered strong. But compared to our Shangxia military personnel, hee. The facts presented before everyone's eyes illustrate that the gap between the two sides can't be bridged by 5 levels alone. Heroes failed the challenge. The second challenger elegantly walked onto the arena. She is a beautiful level 46 elemental mage, and she is wearing platinum equipment, her robe slit to the waist, revealing fair slender legs. She immediately attracted a large amount of attention. A level 51 Spren archer was randomly selected as her opponent. The Spren archer is also from the Shangxia Empire's military. He is wearing battlefield equipment, and exudes intense murderous intent. The female mage furrowed her eyebrows. When faced against archers, mages are at an innate disadvantage. The battle started, and the female mage promptly applied a magic shield on herself. The magic shield has just formed, when an arrow hit it. Bang! The arrow exploded with a loud noise, and the magic shield shook violently. Skill, explosive arrow. The female mage was startled. The archer's attack speed is too fast. Before the flames of the explosion could dissipate, there was another bang. Another explosion rose on the magic shield. This blocked her line of sight, making it impossible to see the opponent. Subsequently, a rain of arrows fell. The magic shield was suddenly subjected to violent impact. After persisting for a few seconds, the magic shield was smashed. At the moment when the magic shield collapsed, another arrow flew over and exploded next to the female mage. Skill, silence arrow. The female mage exclaimed in surprise. All her skills were sealed. She was defeated. She was defeated in a thorough and decisive manner. She couldn't even fight back. The Shangxia military personnel once again proved their strength, not giving their opponent any chance to counterattack. As the crowd hooted and hollered, battles took place one after another. Without exception, all challengers were defeated. They weren't even able to pass the first round. It's really difficult. Lin Moyu also signed up, but his turn hasn't come yet. Su Sheng stepped onto the arena. After 2 consecutive losses yesterday, today he is no longer as snooty as before. Deep down he is still proud and arrogant, but these traits of his have been restrained by a lot. Level 29 Su Sheng, legendary class user, Sacred Light Mage. His opponent is a level 34 Sword and Shield Knight, also from the Shangxia military. As the battle began, the arena was shrouded in pure white light. Skill, Sacred Light. This is a pervasive spirit attack, constantly inflicting damage to the Sword and Shield Knight. Suddenly, a blue light lit up in the middle of the white light. The blue light darted towards Su Sheng like lightning. Skill, Extreme Defense. Skill, Charge. The Sword and Shield Knight activated a defensive skill and shot towards Su Sheng. Su Sheng's expression remained unchanged. He stood his ground. When fighting against a knight, you should never retreat. Skill, Ring of Sacred Light. A ring of light broke out and erupted with powerful knockback effect. At this time, the Sword and Shield Knight used Shield Bash. The two skills collided and produced a loud noise. The ring of sacred light shattered. The sword and shield knight only took half a step back, and then swung his sword. Skill, flash slash. Faced with the attack of the sword and shield knight, Su Sheng proceeded to use a skill, Shield of Sacred Light. A magic shield blocked the sword and shield knight's attack, and then sacred light burst out and repelled the opponent. The sword and shield knight only took a few steps back and then forged forward again. The two entered a stalemate, entered a contest of endurance. If the sword and shield knight can't defeat Su Sheng before extreme defense ends, then he'll be the one to lose. Su Sheng, however, doesn't know how long the Shield of Sacred Light can last. He can only strengthen the output of the Sacred Light skill with all his might and continue to attack the opponent. He has to defeat the Sword and Shield Knight's extreme defense as soon as possible. Chapter 191, Battlefield Skills, First Round, Victory. When the pure white Sacred Light disappeared, the Sword and Shield Knight was nowhere to be seen. Only Su Sheng was standing in the arena. Su Sheng's face was painted with joy. His shield had broken just now. He was on the verge of losing. Fortunately, the sword and shield knight was unable to hold on. Just 2 more seconds and Su Sheng would have lost. With shades of pride and arrogance in his eyes, Su Sheng proved his strength to the world. He fought an opponent 5 levels above him, and the opponent was a powerful class user from the military. Su Sheng proved himself. He gave up on proceeding to the second round and left with the reward. In the second round, his opponent would have been a level 39 class user. But Su Sheng barely won against the level 34 class user. Su Sheng likes to maintain an air of dignity. If it can be avoided, he won't do anything that will chip away at his dignity. Before leaving the arena, Su Sheng glanced at Lin Moyu. This was a silent challenge. Class users generally refuse to admit defeat, and this is even more true for this guy. Matches took place one after another. After Su Sheng, every subsequent challenger lost. Lu Shanren also went up and met a level 34 mage. In theory, archers have an advantage against mages. Lu Shanren was confident and felt that he had a chance. After all, he is a legendary class user. But the military mage, Lu Shanren suffered a disastrous defeat. In less than 5 seconds, he was blasted off the arena. In terms of combat techniques, military class users have already reached a high degree. Other class users can't hold a candle to them. Except for Su Sheng, who won 1 round by the skin of his teeth, no one else was able to wrestle away a victory. The Shangxia Empire's military personnel are too strong. After more than 100 matches, only 1 challenger has won. And the higher the challenger's level, the more miserable the loss. Right. This indicates that the higher the level of Shangxia military personnel, the stronger their combat power and the wider the gap. It's really difficult, more difficult than competition before. The Shangxia Empire showed the world how strong their Shangxia military is. Finally it was Lin Moyu's turn. When he appeared on the arena, it attracted the attention of most people. Ever since the pre-selection, Lin Moyu's reputation has been on the rise. A class that has never appeared before and skills that no one knows about, he is like a mystery that is gradually being unraveled. Whenever people think they know Lin Moyu's abilities, he always reveals something new. Especially last night, when Lin Moyu took first place in the individual competition. The points of the level 20 grouping were basically all monopolized by Lin Moyu. Only then did people realize he still had such a powerful AoE attack skill. In their eyes, every one of Lin Moyu's skills is powerful, leaving him without any weaknesses. Now that he appeared on the arena, people started to speculate how many rounds Lin Moyu can pass. 1 round shouldn't be a problem. That's right, even Su Sheng was able to pass 1 round, let alone Lin Moyu. I wonder if Lin Moyu can pass the 2nd round. I don't think it should pose a problem either. I want to know if he can break the record. There's no way. In the past hundreds of years, no challenger has broken the record. Only a handful of people were able to pass 3 rounds. As for the 4th round, that entails a gap of 20 levels. It is impossible to defeat such an opponent. Moreover, this year's Shangxia military personnel are incredibly strong. Shortly after Lin Moyu stepped onto the arena, his opponent also appeared. Level 32, Mage. The other party is wearing a battlefield suit. When he looked at Lin Moyu, his eyes surged with a slight gleam. Next, he performed a military salute to Lin Moyu. This is a military salute that military personnel have to perform when faced with someone of higher rank. Lin Moyu also performed a military salute. This action caused a huge uproar. What's going on? Could Lin Moyu be a member of the military? No, it's because his military rank is relatively high. Oh my god, he's actually a 3-star lieutenant. He's only level 27. How did he do it? No wonder he is this strong. This guy has gone through a baptism of blood. Salute is one thing, but when it comes to combat, military personnel won't pull their punches. Amidst the exclamations, the battle began. In an instant, several fireballs flew toward Lin Moyu. 10 skeletal warriors and 10 skeletal mages appeared in front of him. The skeletal warriors welcomed the fireballs and chopped them into pieces, and the fireballs exploded. Subsequently, the skeletal warriors charged forward. The skeletal mages released their skills. Lightning flashed, and bolts of lightning fell. The magic shield around the mage emitted dazzling blue light, blocking the attacks of the skeletal mages. After enduring 5 lightning attacks in a row, the magic shield shattered. The mage reacted extremely fast. After the magic shield shattered, he promptly escaped. He quickly retreated. There was no clumsiness that is usually associated with mage-type classes. He was very quick on his feet, as if winds were guiding him. When the skeletal warriors got close, they were repelled by his fire ring of repulsion. After waiting for magic shield's cooldown to pass, he immediately cast the skill again. But even so, he was still being chased around by the skeletal warriors. He had his hands full as is and had no way to attack Lin Moyu. The skills of the skeletal mages kept falling on his magic shield, exerting immense pressure on him. The space left for him grew smaller and smaller. He was about to be surrounded. Suddenly, he stamped the ground heavily with his stave. Boom! Flames surged into the sky. Skill, Flame Cage. The skeletal warriors were trapped in a sea of fire. As if they have been hit by an immobilization spell, they were unable to escape. The blazing flames burned the skeletal warriors continuously. Engulfed by the flames, the skeletal warriors transformed into fire skeletons. Lin Moyu uttered, an offensive skill with a restraint ability. He has never seen this skill before. When the mage was retreating, he left footprints on the ground. These footprints weren't placed haphazardly, but were placed in specific positions, forming a pattern similar to a pentagram. This is some kind of skill. Not only Lin Moyu has never seen this skill before, but also most class users haven't seen it either. How could a level 32 mage have such powerful AoE attack skill with controlled effect? Someone exclaimed, this is a battlefield skill. He surprisingly mastered a battlefield skill. What are battlefield skills? Battlefield skills are exclusive skills of military personnel and must be used in conjunction with battlefield suits. Different levels and classes have their own exclusive battlefield skills. However, battlefield skills are extremely difficult to master. Not every military personnel can use them. Furthermore, some battlefield skills require the cooperation of multiple people in classes. At this point, many class users learned that there are also battlefield skills in the world. This is knowledge that you can't learn in an academy. You have to enter the battlefield to get the opportunity to learn it. The battlefield skill is quite powerful. It's able to restrain 10 skeletal warriors. And although the damage is average, it is already very powerful. However, no matter how powerful it is no use. After all, in addition to skeletal warriors, Lin Moyu also has skeletal mages. The attacks of the skeletal mages never stopped. The magic shield was shattered again. Subsequently, a bolt of lightning struck him. Lin Moyu saw the opponent's battlefield suit flash with faint light, offsetting some of the damage. But it still made the mage tremble. His skill was interrupted. Next, the skills of the skeletal mages pounded him one after another. After all, the mage is only level 32. Trapping the skeletal warriors is already his limit. Under the attacks of the skeletal mages, he was thrown out of the arena only after enduring a couple of attacks. First round, Lin Moyu won. Chapter 192. Third round, this guy surprisingly has a defensive skill. Lin Moyu won, with great ease at that. But he himself hasn't stepped in. He just summoned some skeletal warriors and skeletal mages. The mage was chased around by the skeletal warriors in the arena. Although he finally used his battlefield skill to restrain the skeletal warriors, but he was still defeated by the skeletal mages. In everyone's eyes, Lin Moyu's skeletons are very powerful, far more so than class users of the same level. Even class users who are 5 levels above Lin Moyu can't measure up to the skeletons. Compared to Su Shang, who won with difficulty, Lin Moyu's victory was quite relaxed. Su Shang realized he lost thoroughly, to Lin Moyu once again. The gap between the two is too great. After passing the first round and obtaining an elementary flash skill scroll, Lin Moyu chose to continue the challenge. In the second round, he will face a level 37 class user. A sword and shield knight appeared in the arena. A powerful and oppressive aura is emanating from the level 37 sword and shield knight. Having gone through a number of battles, his eyes were sharp and intimidating. Seemingly unconcerned with the skeletal warriors, he stared straight at Lin Moyu, unblinking. The best way to deal with a summoner is to deal with the person themselves. As long as the summoner is eliminated, the summons will naturally disappear. Needless to say, he also chose to employ this tactic. The battle began, and he bellowed, activated his skill, and darted toward Lin Moyu. Skill: Charge. As he is a close combat class user, he must get close to the opponent. The skeletal warriors blocked in front of Lin Moyu and met the enemy head-on. The sword and shield knight collided with the skeletal warriors. Two bangs rose, causing two skeletal warriors to take a few steps back. At the same time, he was also pushed back. What formidable strength! The sword and shield knight was shocked. The charge skill can generate a formidable force, but it was only able to knock the skeletal warriors a few steps back. Conversely, he was knocked back even further. The skeletal warriors have clearly surpassed him in terms of attributes. I can't fight recklessly. The sword and shield knight understands he can't contend against the skeletal warriors head-on. He needs to follow the initial plan and take Lin Moyu down. However, Lin Moyu is protected by the skeletal warriors and skeletal mages. It's not easy to get close to him. Lights shone brightly in front of the sword and shield knight. The attacks of the skeletal mages have arrived. He raised a shield and quickly blocked and dodged the attacks, retreating farther and farther. The skeletal warriors gave chase and gradually moved away from Lin Moyu. After drawing the skeletal warriors away, the sword and shield knight suddenly turned and activated the charge skill again. He rushed toward Lin Moyu lightning fast. He used the shield in his hands to face the attacks of the skeletal mages. He leapt high into the air, trying to jump over the skeletal mages and launch a direct attack against Lin Moyu. It's no use. Lin Moyu understood the other party's train of thought and shook his head. As he used the shield to resist the attacks of the skeletal mages, the sword and shield knight saw a smile rise on Lin Moyu's face through a crack. A sense of danger instantly shot to the back of his head, and a slight chill spread throughout his whole body. The skeletal warriors, which were a distance away, suddenly disappeared, and then reappeared next to Lin Moyu. So he can summon back the skeletal warriors. His heart shook. He realized he had been deceived. He needs to break through. However, Lin Moyu didn't give him another chance. Red light flashed, and the sword and shield knight felt the whole world turn faster. The skeletal warrior's blades became faster than lightning, while his movements became extremely slow. It's a curse. He realized he had been cursed. But it's already too late. Before he hit the ground, the blades of the skeletal warriors had already landed on him. 1, 2, 3. In an instant, he was struck by 10 blades. Then the attacks of the skeletal mages arrived. He wanted to use extreme defense. But just as the idea arose in his head, the sword and shield knight had already appeared outside the arena. The heal skill fell, quickly healing him and dispelling the curse. He lost. He lost in a decisive manner. In the blink of an eye, he was defeated. He saluted Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu returned a salute of his own. The respect of the sword and shield knight was not only due to Lin Moyu being a 3-star lieutenant but also due to his strength. The level 27 Lin Moyu beat a level 37 class user, and with great ease to boot. He's really formidable. Lin Moyu passed the second round of the unrestricted competition with facility and obtained an intermediate flash skill scroll. Lin Moyu chose to continue with the challenge. If he can pass the third round, he will be able to get a bottle of intermediate magical draft. Compared to the intermediate flash skill scroll, the intermediate magical draft is more valuable. It boosts all attributes by 2000. This is a great upgrade for any class user. By raising your level once, your attributes will increase by only so much. But by drinking a bottle of intermediate magical draft, all your attributes will increase by 2000, which amounts to a total of 8000. The upgrade is quite significant. Furthermore, if Lin Moyu can successfully pass the third round, he will be matching the record. For a level 27 low-level class user to challenge a level 42 high-level class user, this is something inconceivable. A level 42 archer appeared in the arena. He is wearing a platinum rank battlefield suit, and has an incredibly powerful aura. There is a clear gap between high-level class users and low-level class users. After the second awakening, the attributes will increase significantly and the skills will become stronger, and powerful high-level skills can be mastered. Moreover, starting from level 40, platinum rank equipment can be used. Platinum rank battlefield set is even more powerful than ordinary platinum equipment. Level 40 or above high-level class users are fully capable of overwhelming low-level class users. In everyone's eyes, Lin Moyu's chances of winning this match aren't too high. If he passes the third round, do you think Lin Moyu will proceed to challenge the fourth round? It's hard to say. The reason why no one has passed the fourth round is not that simple. What do you mean? I just heard that the fourth round is unusual. It is different from the first 3 rounds. Otherwise, after so many years, someone would have passed already. The spectators don't know what the fourth round will entail. They only know that it will be very difficult. Lin Moyu doesn't know either. He believes he will learn it soon. He is also curious why no one was able to pass the fourth round so far. What makes the fourth round so difficult? The level 42 archer is also from the military, and he has reached the rank of lieutenant. Just like Lin Moyu, he is a 3-star lieutenant. The archer remains silent. His gaze, as sharp as knives, seems to have been locked on Lin Moyu. The battle just started, when several arrows of light shot straight into the sky. Skill. Tracking arrow. The arrows of light turned in the air and fell toward Lin Moyu's head. As the arrows of light fell, the skeletal mage's spells also reached the archer. The archer quickly retreated. At the same, he turned into 3 and dodged in different directions. Skill. Lunge clone. The skeletal mages immediately lost their target. Lin Moyu willed, allowing the skeletal mages to attack at will. At this point, the tracking arrows fell on Lin Moyu, and bangs rang one after another. The strikes made deafening noise, as if falling boulders. The noise smashed into people's hearts and gave rise to a stifling feeling. Lin Moyu is finished. Most people thought so. A level 27 character, no matter how strong his skills are, when faced with attacks from a level 42 high-level class user, is bound to be defeated in an instant. Lin Moyu's bone armor shone brightly, blocking the attacks. This is a defensive skill. It is a defensive skill similar to Mage's magic shield. With both offensive and defensive capabilities, this class is invincible. This armor is so cool. People exclaimed in amazement. The archer was clearly taken aback. Lin Moyu unexpectedly still has a defensive skill, and a very powerful one to boot. Chapter 193. No one has ever passed the third round. Archer and assassin are the 2 most nimble types of classes. At this moment, the archer turned into 3 and dashed about in the arena. The speed of each figure is very fast, nearly forming afterimages, making it difficult to distinguish between real and false. The skeletal warriors chased behind them. The archer is too nimble. For the time being, they weren't able to catch up. The figures dodged most of the skills of skeletal mages. Only lightning-type skills were able to cause them damage. However, due to the great difference in level and the platinum equipment emitting faint light, most of the damage to the archer was offset. In addition, Lin Moyu found that every time an attack landed on them, the figures would distort strangely. This distortion serves to nullify most of the damage. Thanks to this, magic attacks can't impact him much. As he ran about, the archer continued to launch attacks toward Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's agility is far lower than that of the figures. Well aware that he can't dodge the attacks, he just stood in place and didn't move. By relying on the bone armor, he forcefully withstood the attacks. Buzz. Red light scattered throughout the arena. Skill. Slowing curse. The speed of the archer and his clones suddenly dropped. The skeletal mages took this opportunity to launch a round of attacks. The 2 clones burst into pieces at the same time. The archer's body twisted strangely, and he forcibly withstood the attacks. At the same time, he raised his bow and arrow, the bow and arrow shone, and a beam of light shot into the sky. Slowing curse broke in response. Skill. Purification. Lin Moyu was taken aback. Isn't this a healer-type skill? This skill launched by the archer stems from the platinum rank weapon in his hands. Many platinum rank equipment, mostly weapons, come with supplementary skills, encompassing a wide range. The supplementary skill of the archer's weapon is unexpectedly purification. The supplementary purification skill can't compare to a healer's purification. There are some powerful curses that it can't break. However, it is more than enough to dispel the slowing curse. Lin Moyu used slowing curse again. However, since the purification skill was still in effect, the slowing curse failed to work. The archer shuttled back and forth between the skeletons, not engaging in battle with them. His only target is Lin Moyu. Skill: Explosive Arrow. Skill: Impact Arrow. Skill: Silence Arrow. He repeatedly unleashed his skills, attacking Lin Moyu continuously. The bone armor blocked all attacks. Whether stun or silence, they all failed to affect Lin Moyu. Some noticed the hints and found that the bone armor is incredibly powerful. Despite enduring so many attacks in a row, it still remained intact. These are attacks from a level 42 high-level class user. If it were another level 27 class user in Lion Moyu's stead, they would have succumbed in an instant. What a powerful defensive skill. Does this class even have any weaknesses? At present, it doesn't seem to have any weaknesses. It's virtually perfect. But looking at it now, it looks like the two sides are in a stalemate. Yeah, I wonder how Lin Moyu will break this stalemate. The archer silently dodged attacks heading his way. At the same time, he constantly launched attacks at Lin Moyu. He believes he can smash Lin Moyu's defense. Should I take out more skeletons? Or? Lin Moyu contemplated for a short moment and then made a decision. He locked on the archer. Flames flickered in his hand. Skill: Soul Blaze. The running archer suddenly let out a blood-curdling screech. The archer stumbled 2 steps and fell to the ground. The skeletal warriors promptly caught up, followed by the attacks of the skeletal mages. He struggled ferociously and jumped up. He used the clone skill again and turned into 3, so that he could get a break. When he looked at Lin Moyu now, the look in his eyes changed and became wary. Lin Moyu sighed. He was worried about this. After all, this skill, it hurts too much. It's really painful. Except for Xu Yan, no one else can bear it. The area outside the arena exploded. What happened? I don't know. I think I saw Lin Moyu use a skill. I also saw it. It's a single target offensive skill, and it can lock on the target. The tip of the iceberg was lifted further again. Mishaps always arise abruptly. Lin Moyu sighed lightly. Since he already used it once, there's no point in continuing not to use it. He raised his palm, and flames burned in his palm. Bang, bang, the 2 clone burst one after another. That's quite the bad luck. The real one was missed twice. Lin Moyu targeted the archer's true body, and the latter promptly felt his blood run cold. Fear welled up inside him. There was a flash of fire, and then a scream of agony echoed through the sky. The archer collapsed to the ground and shrank into the fetal position. The skeletal warriors charged forward and unleashed their skill. There were also the attacks of the skeletal mages. After 1 round of attacks, he had already disappeared from the arena. Outside the arena, healers provided treatment to him. The wounds might have healed quickly, but the painful memories won't disappear. When he looked at Lin Moyu, there was an indelible fear in his eyes. That kind of gaze can make people feel cold from the bottom of their hearts. At the same time, his screams affected the audience watching the match. Everyone felt uneasy in their hearts. Coupled with the surrounding skeletons, Lin Moyu became even more frightening. Thus, Lin Moyu passed the 3rd round and obtained a bottle of intermediate magical draft. He has now matched the record for the unrestricted competition. Lin Moyu chose to continue the challenge without hesitation. The 4th round, in the history of the class user competition, there has never been anyone who passed it. Even the round's rules have been forgotten. Under everyone's anticipatory gazes, a knight wearing a military battlefield suit appeared in the arena. Sword and Shield Knight, level 45. He is only 3 levels higher than the defender of the previous round. Is that it? Is this the degree of difficulty of the 4th round? How is it possible that no one has passed it before? This can't be right. As everyone was confused, a 2nd-class user appeared in the arena. It is a level 45 Battle King support. A level 45 archer, a level 45 mage, a level 45 assassin. 3 class users appeared one after another. A standard team of 5 was formed. At this point, everyone understood why no one was able to pass the 4th round so far. Not only does it require 1 person to face against a team, but the level of each opposing class user is 18 levels higher than that of the challenger. How do you beat the opponent under such circumstances? Even if an immortal comes, they won't be able to win. No one thinks Lin Moyu can win. No matter how powerful his class is, he is only level 27, and he is only 1 person. He can neither receive status buffs nor treatment. It is impossible for him to contend against a team of level 45 high-level class users. Young man, you're pretty good. To be able to reach the 4th round, you can be proud of yourself. The team's knight praised Lin Moyu. Although it's only 3 levels higher than the archer from the 3rd round, but his momentum is completely different. This knight gives Lin Moyu a sense of leadership. Lin Moyu looked at the military badge on the other party's chest. It is a silver-white badge, and it is sparkling with 9 stars. He is a 9-star lieutenant, just 1 step away from the colonel rank. This is a true fighter who has been staying on the battlefield for many years. This kind of person is extremely strong. The teammates behind him aren't weak either. The worst rank is 5-star lieutenant. They cast Lin Moyu looks of praise. The D-star lieutenant rank alone is worthy of praise. In their eyes, those who kill demons are their comrades in arms. Thank you, Lin Moyu replied. Since entering the arena, he has hardly spoken. However, I'm still going to win today. The match started, and the Battle King support began to apply status buffs. Lin Moyu slowly raised his hand. In an instant, an eerie wind howled and swept across the entire arena. Chapter 194. Astonishing Wealth. I will continue with the challenge. The spectators stood up in shock, their eyes opened wide, their jaws dropped, an incredulous look in their eyes. Someone spoke in a trembling voice, What is this? How come there are so many? Is this an illusion? On the arena, there are 100 skeletal warriors and 50 skeletal mages standing neatly like troops. Faced with so many skeletons, the knight swallowed hard, and his palms holding the sword and shield turned sweaty. The Battle King support's skills were interrupted. They are so many, how do you fight them? The attributes of the skeletons aren't low. In fact, they aren't much worse than level 45 class users in terms of attributes. Even if there were a dozen plus or 20 such skeletons, the team of 5 would still be able to handle them. But in front of them, there are 100 skeletal warriors, each fierce and ferocious. Wait a moment, there are still 50 skeletal mages in the back. How do you beat such a force? Before, the team of 5 had a numerical advantage. But now the tables have turned. Clang! The weapons in the hands of the class users outside the arena dropped to the ground. Su Sheng murmured, This guy is hiding so deeply. Lu Shanren had a dumbfounded look on his face. This is no longer a fight. Following Lin Moyu's command, the skeletal warriors charged toward the opponent. The 100 skeletal warriors occupied half of the arena, limiting the opponent's space of maneuver. The skills of the skeletal mages arrived first. A massive amount of elemental attacks battered the 5 like huge waves and instantly submerged them. Skill. Group Protection. The knight activated his skill, and a huge energy shield appeared and protected the team of 5. The Battle King support once again began to apply status buffs. The archer and mage readied their AoE attack skills. The assassin disappeared without a trace. Although they were shocked, but having faced abyssal demons for years on end, they have developed keen combat instincts. They quickly entered a combat state. Even if they are no match, they won't go down easily. Besides, you won't know if you don't try. Under the mage's feet, there is a pentagram formation taking form. The archer's arrow shone. The knight, employing the group protection skill, withstood the massive number of attacks released by the skeletal mages. The skeletal warriors rushed over and unleashed their skill. The energy shield twisted and shook, looking like it will break at any time. The knight gritted his teeth. His spirit has reached the limit. I can't hold on much longer. Hurry up, the knight called out to the mage and archer. A few seconds later, a skill exploded noisily. Skill. Meteorite Annihilation. A large tract of fire rained down on the skeletal warriors. At the same time, the archer's skill was also ready. Skill. Ruinous Arrow Blast. It is the same skill Lu Shanren used, but it has much larger range and greater power. A rain of arrows enveloped the entire arena, including the skeletal mages and Lin Moyu. Arrows exploded one after another. The entire arena was submerged by explosions. Ruinous Arrow Blast possesses great power. The skeletal warriors were still fine, yet the skeletal mages suffered damage. But the damage was quite minute. If it weren't for his connection with the skeletons, Lin Moyu wouldn't even have realized that they suffered damage. It's fine, it's bearable. The explosions raised a cloud of dust, completely blocking the view. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth curved up slightly. Ruinous Arrow Blast has another use. Bang! A dagger suddenly appeared behind Lin Moyu and stabbed forward with tremendous force. The bone armor instantly turned extremely bright, blocking the opponent's attack. This was the doing of the disappeared assassin. Unfortunately for him, the bone armor is unexpectedly powerful, completely blocking his attack. Lin Moyu has been waiting for the disappeared assassin to strike. All of a sudden, a red light descended. In an instant, the assassin was cursed, revealing his figure. Subsequently, several skeletal warriors appeared beside him. The skeletal warriors didn't attack, but hugged him instead. A few skeletal warriors also grabbed his arms and legs, so as not give him any chances. Next, 10 lightning skeletal mages changed targets, and bolts of lightning rained down. The assassin immediately let out a miserable scream. The person suddenly turned into nothing. The skeletal warriors could no longer hold him. Skill: Nothingness Stealth. The above level 40 high-level skill has the same effect as the Battlefield Ghost King's skill. However, unlike the Battlefield Ghost King's skill, Nothingness Stealth can't devour curses. It can only help him escape. Flames flickered in Lin Moyu's palm. In the next moment, another scream, even more tragic than the previous one, sounded. The assassin, who had turned into nothing, revealed himself again, curled up and trembling. This kind of pain, which penetrates deep into the soul, is not something that ordinary people can bear. Skeletal warriors raised their blades and slashed down. All of a sudden, an energy chain fell out of nowhere. In an instant, the assassin was pulled away. The blades of the skeletal warriors missed their target. The knight activated a skill and brought his teammate back. After he returned to his teammate's side, the assassin remained curled up, trembling uncontrollably. The Battle King support performed treatment. Although injuries could be cured, but the pain couldn't be eliminated. "What's going on?" the knight asked urgently. "It hurts." His skill: very painful. The assassin spoke incoherently. "Soul Blaze is too painful. If not absolutely necessary, it's best not to use it in the arena." The knight's energy shield was finally breached. The mage raised his stave, and a huge ring of fire burst out. With a loud bang, skeletal warriors were blown away. Skill: Fire Ring of Repulsion. When unleashed by an above level 40 class user, the skill's power is incomparable. At this moment, 30 to 40 skeletal warriors were blown away. The area in front of the team of 5 immediately turned empty. An arrow ejected out and exploded in front of the skeletons. A large number of chains suddenly appeared above the ground, trapping the dozen-plus skeletons at the front in an instant. Skill: Arrow of Chains. The mage and archer used their skills to restrain the skeleton one after another. At this moment, the battle seems to have started in earnest. They know that it's not realistic to kill all the skeletons. Their only option is to deal with Lin Moyu himself. The 5 people exchanged a look. They already have a plan. A red light fell from above. Skill: Slowing Curse. Lin Moyu once again cast the curse. Previously, due to the knight's skill, the curse had no effect on them. But this time, there was no energy shield protecting them. As a result, except for the assassin, a red chain pattern appeared atop everyone's head. The moment when the curse came into effect, the attacks of the skeletal mages came crashing down like a sea. The knight bellowed, "Dispel the curse. Mage, shield." As the knight bellowed, the mage stepped forward. A shield appeared around the mage. At the same time, the knight raised his shield high into the air to protect the 3 people behind him. The knight's shield is only enough to protect 3 other people. As the only other class user in the team who can conjure a shield, the mage had no choice but to conjure a magic shield around himself. The stave in the hands of the Battle King support released light. A beam of light rose and enveloped the 5 people, shattering the curse. Skill: Group Purification. It's the skill of a platinum weapon. Lin Moyu furrowed his eyebrows. The Battle King support can apply status buffs and perform treatment. But, unlike an elder, he has no control-type skills, as well as no purification-type skills to lift curses. However, the weapon he uses unexpectedly comes with a group purification skill. Apart from not being able to use control-type skills, the Battle King support is already quite perfect. But is it of any use? Under the concentrated fire of the skeletal mages, the mage's shield was already on the verge of collapse. The knight suffered a huge amount of damage. His hand holding the shield was trembling uncontrollably. After lifting the curse, the Battle King support cast the group heal skill to heal the knight's injuries. At this moment, the skeletal warriors who were flung away rushed forward again and went to encircle the opponent. "We can't wait any longer. Let's open a path and rush over." The mage nodded, and the stave in his hands shone brightly. A large amount of wind element gathered and then instantly spilled out. In an instant, a giant blue net formed from violent wind rushed forward, flinging away the skeletal warriors in its way. Skill: Pillar of the Gale. The skill comes with a knockback effect, clearing a path for the team of 5. Charge: The knight followed behind the Pillar of the Gale and unleashed the charge skill. The archer, assassin, who just now recovered, and mage followed behind the knight. The Battle King support, however, remained behind, staying in place. Using the Pillar of the Gale to open a path at the front and knock away the skeletons, they intend to strike directly at Lin Moyu. It is impossible to deal with the skeletons. Their only option is to deal with Lin Moyu himself. It's no use, Lin Moyu said lightly, and flames flickered in his palm. The knight at the forefront suddenly let out a scream of agony. The charge skill was instantly interrupted, and the knight stumbled and fell to the ground. With the charge interrupted, the archer reacted the fastest. He leapt over the fallen knight. Boom! All of a sudden, several lightning bolts struck, shooting the archer down from the air. The knight, trembling all over, realized that they were done for. They charged into the midst of the skeletons of their own volition. The skeletal warriors have already surrounded them from all directions. Extreme defense. The knight roared, intending to struggle to the end. Cries of pain came from beside him. His eyes were filled with red light. The skeletal warriors unleashed their skill one after another. Skill: Berserk Strike. The archer, assassin, and mage were defenseless. After one round of attacks, only the knight remained. Surrounded by the skeletal warriors and targeted by the skeletal mages, the knight gave up resistance. The 5 people received treatment outside the arena. Gazes full of admiration focused on Lin Moyu. He won. Lin Moyu became the first class user in history of the unrestricted competition to pass the 4th round. His name will forever be lauded in the history of the class user competition, and may even be recorded in textbooks. The 4th round's reward are 2 intermediate flash skill scroll. At this moment, Lin Moyu has 2 elementary flash skill scrolls, 4 intermediate flash skill scrolls, and 1 bottle of elementary and intermediate magical draft respectively. He has surpassed the absolute majority of class users in terms of wealth. I will continue with the challenge. Lin Moyu's proclamation plunged the entire audience into a pin-drop silence. Chapter 195, finally in. This is the first time in the history of the unrestricted competition that someone passed the 4th round. As for the 5th round, no one has ever tried it. The authorities haven't even considered setting up this level. The reward for the 5th round hasn't been announced either. But now Lin Moyu made the request. He will proceed with the challenge. Bai Yiyuan told him to get a high achievement, the higher, the better. Since Bai Yiyuan said so, then there must be a reason. Following Lin Moyu's proclamation, the venue turned quiet. After waiting for 2 whole minutes, the authorities finally gave a response. A person suddenly appeared in midair. He is dressed in an exquisite robe and is holding a fine stave. A dignified voice disseminated, the 5th round will begin in 3 minutes. Get ready. The 5th round's reward are a bottle of advanced magical draft and an advanced flash skill scroll. When he looked at Lin Moyu, his eyes were full of praise. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up when he heard about the reward. The advanced magical draft can be consumed after reaching level 70 and completing the 3rd awakening, and it can provide an increase of 200 million points to the 4 attributes. The advanced magical draft is extremely valuable, and the same goes for the advanced flash skill scroll. When it comes to advanced skills, the probability of obtaining them is greatly reduced, making it difficult for anyone to learn all the skills of their class. From this it can be imagined how valuable the advanced flash skill scroll is. Lin Moyu clenched his fists. He must receive this reward. Bearing everyone's expectations, the 5th round started officially. The formation shone brightly, and a group of people appeared in the arena. Level 50, Superior Class, Paladin. Level 50, Superior Class, Shillian Elder. Level 50, Superior Class, Elemental Mage. Level 50, Superior Class, Shadow Mage. Level 50, Superior Class, Fire Warlock. Level 50, Superior Class, Spren Summoner. 6 class users, all level 50 and all superior class users, appeared, forming a mage team. I'll be damned, a mage team has appeared. A level 50 mage team, they are the least afraid of AoE attacks. This time Lin Moyu is in trouble. These mages all possess AoE offensive skills. No matter how many skeletons he has, it's no use. Don't forget that Shadow Mage has another name, Great Master of Control. Yes, he has many group control type skills. The team dispatched by the Shengxia Empire this time was geared toward dealing with Lin Moyu's skeletons. The Elemental Mage and Fire Warlock have strong AoE offensive abilities, while the Shadow Mage can perform crowd control. Shilian Elder can maximize the attack power of the mages. When it comes to mages, his impact is greater than that of a prophet. As for the Spren Summoner, just the ability to reset skills is enough to cement his position in the team. When he saw this team, Lin Moyu realized that this fight will be a though one. This team was formed solely with him in mind. Lin Moyu contemplated about how to deal with this team. The only way he could think of is through suppressive fire. He doesn't fear the opponent's AoE offensive skills. The most troublesome thing is the opponent's control type skills. The Shadow Mage's crowd control will be his biggest obstacle. Thinking about countermeasures, Lin Moyu gradually formed a plan in his mind, which is also the only way he will have a chance to win. The 6 people looked at Lin Moyu, ready to take action. They were called over to become defenders. But they never expected that their opponent will be a level 27 small fry. However, considering the attitude of the authorities, they didn't take this lightly. Everyone is on high alert. When the match began, Lin Moyu pressed his palm down, and the bone armor appeared on him. At the same time, 100 skeletal mages appeared next to him. The mages unleashed concentrated fire. In an instant, numerous magic skills rushed out. This scene stupefied the 6 people. The paladin raised his shield and shouted, "Defense! Skill! Group protection!" An energy shield appeared and enveloped the 6 people. The magic attacks battered the energy shield like waves, and the energy shield distorted. The paladin breathed a sigh of relief and continued to shout, "Status buffs! Mages, AoE attacks!" The Shilian Elder began to apply status buffs. Skill, magic enhancement. Skill, magic boost. Skill, elemental scaling. Skill, rapid cast. Thanks to the status buffs, the mages' offensive power increased sharply. The Elemental Mage and Fire Warlock released their skills. Unlike level 40 mages, who need time to prepare, the two unleashed their skills almost in an instant. Skill, Meteorite Annihilation. Skill, Firefall. The Shadow Mage stared at the skeletal mages in the distance, and the stave in his hands shone. Skill, Cloud of Sleep. A cloud emerged in response. Lin Moyu saw this and immediately ran toward the opponent. At the same time, the skeletal mages disappeared in an instant. Lin Moyu ran at lightning speed, accompanied by the sounds of magic spells landing behind him. Lin Moyu's behavior is puzzling. What is he doing? Isn't he a mage? Why is he rushing toward the opponent? The other party has a paladin and a summoner. Is he rushing to his own doom? Have you noticed, there were more skeletal mages this time? There were at least 100. Indeed, in the previous round, he actually hadn't gone all out. Everyone was in an uproar. In the previous round, Lin Moyu actually hasn't used his full strength. No one knows how much of his strength he still has hidden. Lin Moyu instantly collected the skeletal mages, causing the opponent's attacks to miss. A white summoned beast appeared next to the Spren Summoner. It looks like a warhorse with a very small horn. Compared to Mo Yun's holy unicorn, it is much worse. When he saw the summoned beast, Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. He came up with a solution. Lin Moyu continued to charge forward. All of a sudden, the skeletal mages appeared again and unleashed another volley of concentrated fire. In the previous volley, the paladin's energy shield only shook slightly. In this volley, ripples rose on the energy shield. A discerning person would be able to tell at a glance that the paladin's energy shield can't hold on much longer. The Shadow Mage raised his stave and pointed toward Lin Moyu. Skill, Silence. A beam of light hit Lin Moyu. The bone armor flashed, rendering the opponent's control type skill ineffective. The Shadow Mage quickly released the second single target control type skill. Skill, Hypnosis. It was still ineffective. The bone armor is immune to all control type effects. The expression of the Shadow Mage changed, it has no effect. The paladin shouted, "Ignore the skeletons and attack the summoner himself." The Elemental Mage and Fire Warlock immediately changed targets and attacked Lin Moyu. The bone armor blocked the attacks. However, its light was rapidly weakening. Although the bone armor is powerful, but the opponent is still level 50 class users. Paired with complete sets of platinum equipment, their skills are extremely powerful. The skeletal mages once again released concentrated fire, and the energy shield protecting the opponent shattered in response. The Spren summoner's summoned beast suddenly unleashed a cry, and then a light shone on everyone. Summoned beast skill, reset. All skills have been reset. The paladin's group protection skill can be used again. The skills of the elemental mage, fire warlock, and shadow mage have also been reset. Group protection, the paladin shouted, and the energy shield reappeared. Someone exclaimed in surprise, this is the summoned beast's reset ability. Except for a few special skills, most can be reset infinitely. There is no need to worry about the issue of cooldown. With this skill, the team's combat power can be improved by several times. Lin Moyu's expression was solemn. Under these circumstances, he can't attack the other party, but the other party can continue to attack him. He was relegated to a passive state. The skeletal warriors can't be summoned for the time being. After all, if they are restrained, he won't be able to retrieve them. They will be reduced to sitting ducks. Another large-scale AoE offensive magic appeared. A thunderous rain of fire descended and enveloped the area where the skeletal mages are located. Lin Moyu instantly put away the skeletal mages, and so the rain of fire missed its target. Level 50 spells are enough to cause serious damage to the skeletal mages. Lin Moyu doesn't want the skeletal mages to suffer losses. With the skeletal mages gone, the fire warlock immediately switched targets and proceeded to attack Lin Moyu. The bone armor creaked and dimmed, about to break. Under the current predicament, there is only one solution left. Lin Moyu faced the magic attacks head-on and ran to the other side, and then summoned the skeletal mages again. The moment the skeletal mages appeared, they started attacking the energy shield. At the same time, Lin Moyu arrived at the edge of the energy shield. Lin Moyu met the gazes of the people inside and showed a faint smile. He pressed his palm down and reconjured the bone armor. The bone armor, which was about to break down, once again burst out with brilliant light. What the hell? The paladin exclaimed in surprise. He never imagined that Lin Moyu's defensive skill can be reset. Who knew that bone armor has no cooldown, that it can be recast at any time? To win against Lin Moyu, you have to either instantly destroy his bone armor and kill him, or grind him down until he runs out of spirit force. Lin Moyu pressed his hand against the energy shield. What is he trying to pull off? Doubts suddenly arose in the hearts of the 6 people. All of a sudden, skeletal warriors appeared. They used the Berserk Strike skill as soon as they appeared. After they used their skill, Lin Moyu collected them. The whole process took no more than 1 second, not giving the Shadow Mage any time to react. The energy shield has become unstable again. At this moment, the paladin appears to have understood what Lin Moyu is after. He's trying to break in. Stop him, the summoned beast cried out again, instantly resetting all skills. The fire warlock unleashed a fire ring of repulsion. But the bone armor just flashed, immune to the knockback effect. The Shadow Mage waved his stave. Skill. Marsh. A large marsh suddenly appeared under Lin Moyu's feet. In an instant, half of his feet have already sunk in the marsh. At this moment, a skeletal warrior appeared next to Lin Moyu and pulled him out. Skill. Pillar of the Gale. The elemental mage's stave spawned a strong wind, and a pillar of wind smashed into Lin Moyu. This still wasn't enough to break through the bone armor. Subjected to a series of attacks, the bone armor turned dim once more. In the next moment, Lin Moyu reapplied the armor. What a freak, how does he have such an abnormal skill? The paladin bellowed. The energy shield burst with a loud bang. The paladin quickly recast the energy shield. A new energy shield was created. But there was one more person inside the energy shield. A smile welled up on Lin Moyu's face, finally in. Chapter 196, A Brilliant and Dazzling Explosion. Lin Moyu forcefully broke into the energy shield. Several pairs of eyes opened wide. You are a mage, not a melee fighter. Why did you break in? Are you going to swing a sword? Do you also have a warrior-type skill? The energy shield flickered with light. The skeletal mages were still attacking. The paladin maintained the energy shield and couldn't move. The summoned beast rushed toward Lin Moyu in the first moments. The warhorse-like, tall as a human unicorn collided with Lin Moyu. There was a bang, and the bone armor shone brightly. The impact was quite powerful. The elemental mage and fire warlock also launched attacks against Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu faced the attacks head-on. At this time, a red light flashed. Skill. Slowing curse. There was a buzzing sound, and the movements of 6 people and 1 beast slowed down. It's a curse. A terrible thought popped up in the paladin's mind. Subsequently, a brilliant light rose from him. The paladin has a skill that can break curses. At the same time, the Shillian elder cast a skill to lift the curse. At this moment, skeletal warriors appeared next to the group of 6. The moment they appeared, the skeletal warriors surrounded the opponent from all directions. The skeletal warriors unleashed their skill at once. Less than half a second later, Lin Moyu released some more skeletal warriors. As a countermeasure against skills such as the fire ring of repulsion, he didn't release the skeletal warriors all at once. A black cloud appeared, and a number of skeletal warriors stopped and fell into a slumber. Skill: Cloud of Sleep. The group control type skill of the Shadow Mage was finally able to display its power. The summoned beast roared and raised its hooves, and a pillar of water rushed out from the ground and sent a number of skeletal warriors into the sky. At the same time as it attacked, the skill of a number of skeletal warriors has landed on it. When a gap presented itself, Lin Moyu would release a batch of skeletal warriors. As soon as they are released, the skeletal warriors will use their skill, regardless whether they can hit their target or not. The paladin took it all in. However, his hands were tied. With the skeletal mage's unrelenting assault, he needs to maintain his group protection skill. This guy is going to be tough. I've never seen such a mage before. What kind of fighting style is this? As the skeletal warriors attacked, flames flickered in Lin Moyu's palm. Skill: Soul Blaze. The summoned beast immediately let out a miserable cry. This skill is unbearable to humans, monsters, and summons alike. Immediately after, skeletal warriors unleashed their skill and attacked it. The level 50 summoned beast has extremely high health. Despite being surrounded by more than a dozen skeletons, who unleashed their skill, it still persisted. Lin Moyu revealed a hint of elation. The higher its health, the better. The summoner wanted to heal his summoned beast. But at the moment, he was helpless. If it weren't for the Shillian Elder's treatment, he might have been eliminated already. Lin Moyu turned the magic confrontation into close combat. The Shadow Mage repeatedly used his control-type skills to restrain a number of skeletal warriors. These skeletal warriors couldn't move, as if nailed to the ground. In the blink of an eye, half of Lin Moyu's skeletal warriors were already restrained. The situation seems to have stabilized. The paladin felt something wrong and realized that Lin Moyu's real target is the summoned beast. Be careful, summoned beast. He doesn't know why Lin Moyu is after it. But there must be a reason. Just like why he rushed in. By the time the paladin shouted, it was already too late. Soul Blaze erupted, and the summoned beast collapsed with a cry of agony. Boom! A loud explosion echoed throughout the entire venue. Lin Moyu used Corpse Explosion for the first time in the class user competition. Although the explosion didn't release any light, but the people felt like it was brilliant and dazzling. The paladin was blown away. The energy shield disappeared in an instant. After the paladin fell heavily on the ground and recovered his senses, he found that his teammates were already outside the arena. He is the only one left in the arena. At this moment, there are 170 skeletal warriors and 100 skeletal mages staring at him. The paladin laughed bitterly. No matter what he does now, they will lose all the same. This is not a fight to the death, but just a match. You're really strong. The paladin gave Lin Moyu a thumbs up and then jumped off the arena. The level 50 mage team was unexpectedly defeated by a single person. Deafening applause broke out abruptly. The spectators stood up and applauded. Lin Moyu showed them an amazing battle. A level 27 class user single-handedly challenged a level 50 mage team composed of 6 members. Such an exciting battle is enough to be recorded in the annals of history. The mage standing in the air looked at Lin Moyu with growing praise in his eyes. Young man, you're really good. This is your reward. With a wave of his hand, a bottle of purple gold potion and a scroll emanating purple light flew into Lin Moyu's hand. Advanced Magical Draft, Advanced Flash Scroll Skill, these two are priceless treasures. Lin Moyu looked up at the sky and said, "Thank you." He hesitated, wondering if he should continue with the challenge. All of a sudden, his communicator vibrated. Bai Yiyuan surprisingly sent a message at this time, "Quit while you're ahead." Lin Moyu collected the potion and scroll, bowed to the mage in the air, and then jumped off the arena. Lin Moyu didn't continue with the challenge. No one felt that it was a pity. It was indeed enough. After all, he passed 5 rounds. This is an unprecedented feat. Lin Moyu's name has already spread throughout the entire human world. Ning Yi skipped over and said, Moyu, you're really awesome. Lin Moyu won. She was happier than anyone else about this. Lin Moyu stroked her head and said, you are awesome as well. Ning Yi raised her head and said, of course I am. After all, I have the most amazing eye for people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken a liking to you at first glance. Lin Moyu chuckled. The two left the venue, paying no attention to the next match. The class user competition has come to an end for Lin Moyu. In fact, if it weren't for Bai Yiyuan's request, he might not have come to participated in the competition in the first place. He would definitely have come, not to participate in the competition, but to find Lin Mohan. Now seems that Lin Moyu's harvest during the class user competition was considerable. Not only did he find Lin Mohan, but he also obtained multiple advanced items. At the same time, it also allowed him to gain a lot of combat experience. Whether it's raiding dungeons or dealing with demons, this combat experience will come in handy in the future. In summary, this trip was worthwhile. Someone flew over and landed in front of Lin Moyu. It's the mage who just hosted the competition. Although his aura was restrained, but Lin Moyu could feel it. He should be an above level 80 peak class user. However, he still can't measure up to Bai Yiyuan. Lin Moyu bowed to the other party. Senior, what can I do for you? He chuckled, a look of praise in his eyes. Hello, Lin Moyu, my name is Jin Peng. Jin Peng is one of the 12 counselors of the Shengxia Empire. He is a big shot on the same level as Xu Wei. Ning Yi wasn't interested in Jin Peng's identity at all. She has seen many figures of this level and takes it for granted. Lin Moyu asked, Sir Jin Peng, what can I do for you? Jin Peng smiled and said, you are a student of the Shajing Academy and this year's Imperial top scorer, isn't that right? Lin Moyu nodded. With the other person's identity and status, it shouldn't be an issue to uncover information about him. Jin Peng said, I happen to serve as a guest professor at the Shajing Academy. I would like to accept you as my student. Are you interested? When Jin Peng spoke about taking Lin Moyu as a student, he wasn't referring to an ordinary master and student relationship, but rather a relationship between master and disciple, just like the relationship between Lin Moyu and Bai Yiyuan. Lin Moyu wasn't terribly surprised. He said respectfully, thank you for your kind intentions, Sir Jin Peng, but I already have a teacher. Jin Peng was flabbergasted, saying, what? Who is it? At this moment, Lin Moyu's communicator rang, and Lin Moyu smiled slightly, my teacher is calling. Pick up the call. Let me see which guy has luckily become your teacher. In his eyes, Lin Moyu is a rare top talent. Compared to the topmost talents of the Shajing Academy, he is in a league of his own. He is curious to know who has taken Lin Moyu as their student. The communicator connected, and Bai Yiyuan's voice transmitted, Young Peng, are you trying to poach my student? Jin Peng was startled. He showed a strange expression, saying, God Bai, so it's you. Bai Yiyuan snorted and said, Young Lin is my student, so don't even think about making a move on him. Jin Peng, not daring to compete with Bai Yiyuan, said immediately, if I had known he was your student, I wouldn't have come, God Bai. Go back and tell those guys to keep Young Lin's information confidential, so others can't access it. Please rest assured, God Bai, I have already taken care of that. In fact, as long as it is a genius worth paying attention to, the Shengxia Empire will keep their information confidential. After all, there have been incidents of geniuses being assassinated before. Afterward, the Shengxia Empire has put in a lot of effort in this respect. This kind of important information can only be viewed by the upper echelon. However, no one expected Counselor Xu Wei to be a member of the Demon Worship Society. As a result, this confidentiality has become mere decoration. Bai Yiyuan continued, I'll let you go now. After the competition is over, you guys come over. Old Meng and I have something to talk to you about. Jin Peng's expression suddenly became solemn. For Bai Yiyuan to call them over, it must be a serious matter. Okay, we'll go to you after the competition. After Jin Peng left, Bai Yiyuan continued, Young Lin, you have gained a lot of attention these past few days. Come back. I have a new mission for you. Okay, teacher. Chapter 197. This seems to be the birth of a new godly powerhouse. When Lin Moyu returned to the Shajing Academy, he attracted the attention of countless students. In recent days, his fame exploded. He has become famous worldwide. Everyone learned about Lin Moyu and his harvest. The class user competition produces a number of winners every time it is held, and the Shajing Academy always has its share of winners. But there aren't many people who can gobble it all up like Lin Moyu. As for the record of the unrestricted competition, it hasn't been broken in ages. As Lin Moyu walked through the academy, practically every student would look at him. Students would often come over and greet him. Whether they are ordinary students or institute students, when they saw him, they would take the initiative to express goodwill to Lin Moyu. A large fist reigns mighty. As long as a character like Lin Moyu doesn't die prematurely, he is bound to become a famous big shot in the future. He might even become a being on the level of God by. That kind of person must be respected. Lin Moyu, not used to so much attention, felt a bit uncomfortable. Ning Yi seemed to have expected this. She laughed charmingly and quickly darted away. You naughty girl, you ran really fast. Looking at the clean and tidy dorm room, Lin Moyu realized he had stayed here only a handful of nights since the enrollment. There are practically no signs of him living in the dorm room. He sat on the bed, then took out the bottle of elementary magical draft and downed its contents. Immediately after, he felt a warm current flowing through his body. The warm current spread into every corner of his body, raising his 4 attributes. As a mage-type class users, apart from spirit force, his other basic attributes aren't very high. At level 27, his strength, agility, and physique are only at 510 points. As for his spirit, it reached 2,700 points, which is higher than the other 3 combined. Now that he has consumed the elementary magical draft, his 4 attributes have been raised by 200 points. This is a significant upgrade. If my attributes had reached the level of the skeletons, that would be great. Unfortunately, the comprehensive amplification talent only works on skills. It has no effect on me. As his thoughts revolved, a skeletal warrior and a skeletal mage appeared in the dorm room. Subsequently, a cold wind broke out, and the temperature dropped rapidly. Undead-type summons come with a frightening eerie aura. Level 27 Skeletal Warrior, its attributes have reached 22,500 points. Its basic attributes are only 750. Skeletal Mage, its basic spirit attribute is 1,500. The other 3 basic attributes are only 340. Lin Moyu spoke softly. Without the godly comprehensive amplification talent, the skeletons wouldn't be anything much. With the basic attributes alone, they would be weaker than ordinary class users. Their only advantage would have been their numbers. But, as a unique hidden class, Lin Moyu felt that there should be more to Necromancer than this. Some classes are weak in the early stages, but become stronger in the later stages. Maybe as my level rises, and I master new skills, things will change. Even without the talent, it is still a most powerful class. Lin Moyu is full of confidence regarding his class. The scene he saw during his class awakening, the scene of countless skeletons, it looked like a disaster on a global scale. These skeletons were able to slay a being as powerful as a dragon. One day he will to reach that level. That scene pointed out the direction of his class and allowed him to see the future of the class. At night, Lin Moyu sorted out his skills and understood their merits and demerits. He recalled the details of every match and contrasted them with his understanding. Thinking about it now, if he used Soul Blaze from the get-go, it would have been easier for him to win. But this skill is too painful, as seen from the reactions of the several class users. He doesn't really want to use it when it's not a life or death battle. In the Godbai courtyard, Lin Moyu sat at the tea table and respectfully poured tea for Bai Yiyuan and Meng Anwen. Bai Yiyuan smiled, relishing in the feeling of having his student wait upon him. This student of his, no matter how you slice it, he can't not like him. That was an excellent performance. Meng Anwen said lightly, of course it was. In the history of the unrestricted competition, no one has ever challenged and passed the 5th round. Your performance was much better than that of your teacher back in the day. The smile on Bai Yiyuan's face suddenly evaporated. Can't we have a nice and civil chat? I'm just telling the truth. Back in the day, you only passed the 3rd round. Be a man and admit your shortcomings. Meng Anwen spoke calmly. Bai Yiyuan gnashed his teeth with indignation. Despite being his old friend, Meng Anwen still won't give him face. Bai Yiyuan coughed twice and changed the subject. Young Lin, you have to reach level 30 as soon as possible. I want to take you somewhere special next. Lin Moyu nodded, okay. For the next few days, stay in the academy. You can go to the dungeon hall to level grind. You must have noticed that the limelight on you is too bright. No matter where you go, you will attract hips of attention. Indeed, wherever he goes now, people will notice him. As if a celebrity from his previous life, he will be watched everywhere he goes. This is quite uncomfortable. Bai Yiyuan said, what matters is not that you will attract attention, but that it may include people with malicious intentions. In the past couple of years, geniuses of the empire have been assassinated one after another. You must be careful. At least there won't be any danger in the academy. Bai Yiyuan gave a few words of advice, from which it can be concluded that he cares about Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu felt warm inside. After Lin Moyu left, Meng Anwen opened his eyes and looked at Bai Yiyuan. Where do you plan to take him? Bai Yiyuan said matter-of-factly, to that place, of course. After all, without having gone there, you can't be considered a qualified class user. Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, aren't you afraid he will be in danger? After all, back in the day, you went there after the Second Awakening. Bai Yiyuan shook his head, and that was already late. After all, the earlier you go to that place, the greater the benefits. It's up to you. Anyway, he is your student. Meng Anwen didn't say anything else. Bai Yiyuan was unconcerned, don't worry. Although the kid doesn't talk much, but he is actually rather smart. It won't be easy to kill him. What's more, there is still the brand in the Hall of Heroes. He can be resurrected even if he dies. The dungeon hall is as lively as ever. The moment Lin Moyu stepped out of the teleportation formation, the entire space fell silent. It's Lin Moyu. He is back. I knew he was amazing, but I didn't expect him to be that amazing. I feel like I'm witnessing the birth of a new godly powerhouse. I actually raided a dungeon with this kind of character. Thinking about it makes me excited. Come on, it was just a business transaction, where you paid coins to be carried through a dungeon. That's hardly the same as raiding a dungeon together. People whispered and looked at Lin Moyu with reverence. In here, no one dares to underestimate him. The same is true even for high-level class user who have completed their Second Awakening. If he can even defeat a level 50 mage team from the military, then what do they count for? Even if there were above level 50 class users present, they would still be no match for Lin Moyu. Strength is respected. A large fist reigns mighty. Under everyone's gazes, Lin Moyu walked into the dungeon hall. Junior Lin, you're back. Shu Han appeared in front of Lin Moyu with a smile. What a coincidence. After he just came back, he unexpectedly found an acquaintance. Shu Han's smile always contains a languid shade. The entire person gives off a sense of tranquility. Although Shu Han doesn't have an institute emblem, she looks like an ordinary student, but she is completely different from ordinary students in terms of temperament. Her background must be pretty good. But then why has she been doing some insignificant missions, just to earn a measly amount of points? What's the use of such a pitiful amount of points? Lin Moyu asked softly, are you here for a mission? Shu Han smiled, I am. What about you? Lin Moyu said softly, I'm here to do level grinding. Do you want me to recommend a dungeon to you? As for the fee, 100 points will do. Lin Moyu handed 100 points to Shu Han. Great, I earned another 100 points. Come with me, Junior Lin. Shu Han showed a cheery smile, then turned around and walked toward a dungeon. At the dungeon's entrance, the vortex is rotating slowly, with firelight emerging occasionally. This is a level 32 dungeon, and it is called Fire God's Palace Hall. Chapter 198. Elemental Dungeon, Fire God's Palace. Shu Han recommended the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon to Lin Moyu. It is a level 32 dungeon, and only class users between level 27 and level 37 can enter it. It looks like a normal dungeon, with two difficulty ranks, normal and nightmare. For dungeons above level 30, the entry fee is 500 points and the reset fee is 2,500 points. The cooldown period is 120 hours, a full 5 days. Shu Han explained her reason for recommending this dungeon. She received points and was quite diligent in her explanation. Although this dungeon looks no different from ordinary dungeons, but it's actually quite different. As you can see, there are many people waiting to enter other dungeons. But very few have chosen the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon. When you look at its clearance time and compare it to that of other dungeons of similar level, you will be able to see that it is different. Lin Moyu looked at the clearance record of the Fire God's Palace Hall, 8 hours, 32 minutes, 15 seconds. The record was set 5 years ago, by a team from the Qianlong Institute. For a nightmare rank dungeon to take more than 8 hours to be cleared, this is obviously abnormal. Other nightmare rank dungeons rarely exceed 6 hours. Not only is the record time long, but it has stood for a full 5 years. Shu Han said with a languid smile, this dungeon is actually one of the 5 elemental dungeons. In addition to the commonly known 4 elements, wind, water, fire, lightning, there is also the light element. There is an elemental dungeon corresponding to each element. If you are lucky, you can get corresponding elemental fragments. It is said that if you can gather 5 kinds of elemental fragments, you will be able to obtain unexpected benefits. Shu Han knew a lot about the dungeon. She told Lin Moyu about what makes the dungeon difficult to raid. The interior of the dungeon is a world of the fire element. Once you enter this world, you will be battered by the fire element and receive continuous damage, which will put a lot of pressure on healers. Therefore, when a party of 6 raids the nightmare rank difficulty, 1 damage dealer position is often sacrificed to raise the number of healers to 2. As the result of 1 less damage dealer, the raid is naturally slowed. The dungeon is quite dangerous to begin with. With 1 less damage dealer, the danger will only be increased. Even with 2 healers, the raid will fail if conducted haphazardly. There have been students who failed to withdraw in time and died in the dungeon. At the same time, high difficulty corresponds to a lot of express. Shu Han felt that with Lin Moyu's ability, the dungeon shouldn't pose a problem to him. That is why she recommended this dungeon that provides the highest amount of EXP in the same level. After listening to her explanation, Lin Moyu felt confident. The 100 points were well spent. Are the remaining elemental dungeons here as well? Lin Moyu's eyes swept across the dungeon hall. In the dungeon hall, there are hundreds of dungeons of different sizes. It is impossible to see through them at a glance. Shu Han pointed in a direction, at a dungeon vortex, from which specks of waterlight emerge from time to time, exuding an astonishing chill. Over there is the water elemental dungeon. However, the water elemental dungeon is a level 37 dungeon. You can't enter it yet. As she spoke, she pointed to another location, where there was the sound of wind blowing from a dungeon entrance. Over there is the wind elemental dungeon. The wind elemental dungeon is level 42. You can't enter it until before you reach level 37. In general, other people will enter the wind elemental dungeon after they have completed the second awakening and have become a high-level class user. Lastly, regarding the lightning elemental dungeon and light elemental dungeon, we don't have them here. If you want to find them, you will have to look for them yourself, Junior Lin. Shu Han's eyes contain a crafty smile and a hint of expectation, hoping that Lin Moyu will set a new record. Thank you, Senior. I'm going to raid the dungeon now. Lin Moyu chose nightmare mode and entered the dungeon. After she returned home yesterday, Ning Yi sent him a message. She has something to do at home and has to be away for a while. She will look for him when she is back. It looked like she was in a hurry. Ning Yi probably was assigned some mission. When it comes to pinnacle class user family like Ning Yi's family, they have a complete set of training methods for their younger generation. Ning Yi is a student of the academy in name only. She won't follow the path laid out by the academy. Lin Moyu felt that his situation isn't much different. After all, he hasn't attended a single class yet. The place where he spends the most time in the academy is the dungeon hall. There is no need for him to follow the regular method of learning and leveling, not to mention that much of the knowledge provided by the academy seems to be imperfect. Bai Yiyuan wants him to acquire this knowledge from practical experience. Fire God's Palace Hall, Level 32 Dungeon, Nightmare Rank Difficulty. Scorching flames burn the entire world. This is a cavern with raging flames burning on the walls. The cavern is divided in 2 by flowing lava. To go to the other side, you have to cross a flaming bridge. From time to time, pillars of fire will burst out from the flowing lava and explode in the air, like brilliant fireworks. Lin Moyu felt that even with the bone armor on, he probably wouldn't be able to last long. The Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon is similar to the elemental secret realm, but it is purer. By merely standing here, the fire element has already begun to attack him. The bone armor gleamed as it resisted the fire element. As long as you are inside the dungeon, you will be subject to attacks from the fire element at all times, without end. Healers will have their work cut out for them here. Even if they don't fight any monsters, healers will still need to heal their teammates every once in a while. Lin Moyu didn't summon the skeletal warriors and skeletal mages right away. He hasn't even met a single monster yet. If he were to summon his skeletons now, they would only suffer damage in vain. Lin Moyu started down the bridge made out of fire, treading on fire with every step he took. If it were an ordinary class user, just walking across this bridge would require several treatments. The bridge isn't long. Soon, Lin Moyu reached its end. At last, he saw two monsters by the shore. The two monsters are 3 meters tall and are composed of the fire element and lava, and are holding a large flaming stick in their hands. They are walking back and forth by the bridge. At the same time as Lin Moyu discovered them, they also discovered him. The monsters swung their large sticks, throwing 2 fireballs barreling toward Lin Moyu. This looks like the fireball skill of mages. Lin Moyu didn't dodge nor evade. Protected by the bone armor, he faced the attacks head-on. At the same time, detection flew out like a breeze. Fire Sprite Enhanced Elite Monster. Level, 32. Strength, 10,000. Agility, 3,000. Spirit, 4,000. Physique, 10,000. Skill, Flame Strike. Characteristics: Fire Elemental Immunity, halved physical damage. The strength and physique attributes are quite a bit higher than the other two. The 4 attributes add up to a total of 27,000 points, which is in line with the standard of level 32 enhanced elite monsters. They are composed of the fire element and are immune to the fire element. At the same time, the damage they take from physical attacks is halved. Lin Moyu has dealt with elemental monsters on more than one occasion, so he was not surprised to see these characteristics. It looks like I won't be able to use Corpse Explosion. He spoke softly. Without being able to use Corpse Explosion, the raid's efficiency will suffer quite a bit. Shu Han probably didn't know this when she recommended the dungeon to him. He can ask her later which dungeons have more monsters. It doesn't matter if the monsters provide less express. So long as their numbers are enough, it's fine. The key point is that they must leave corpses. Since he already entered the dungeon, he will clear it. After all, he already spent the entrance fee of 500 points. It would be a waste of points if he withdrew now. The flames of the fire sprites fell on the bone armor and exploded, creating beautiful fireworks. The bone armor emitted silver-white light. It blocked the attacks completely. The power is still passable. Lin Moyu made an estimate regarding the fire sprite's offensive power. All of a sudden, skeletal warriors appeared, then ran quickly across the bridge and slashed at the fire sprites with their blades. As the skeletal warriors ran, flames promptly ignited on them and covered them completely, turning them into flaming skeletons. Lin Moyu has the elemental resistance passive skill, which applies to both him and his summons. It increases resistance to elemental attacks by 300%. Coupled with the skeletal warrior's high attributes, this only looks scary, but doesn't do much damage. More than a dozen skeletal warriors surrounded the 2 fire sprites and hacked at them. Killed level 32 fire sprite, EXP plus 640,000. Obtained fire core. As expected, upon death, the fire sprites transformed into the fire element that dissipated, leaving no corpse behind. Chapter 199. Dungeon Upgrade, Hell Rank Difficulty Activated. After taking care of the 2 fire sprites, Lin Moyu wanted to put away the skeletal warriors. There was no point in them being out and taking damage in vain. Suddenly, he creased his brow. He can't put them away. The skeletal warriors, enveloped in raging flames, suffered damage continuously. This counts as them being in a state of combat. As a result, they can't be called back into the summon space. Fortunately, the amount of damage the skeletal warriors suffered wasn't high. By solely relying on the fire element to burn the skeletal warriors, it would probably take a long time to burn them to death. Even 10 hours may not be enough. Seeing as he can't collect them, Lin Moyu had the skeletal warriors run ahead to clear the way for him. 16 skeletal warriors fanned out and ran forward. Soon, they encountered more monsters in the dungeon. Lin Moyu gave them the order to attack monsters whenever they encountered them. Regarding level 32 dungeon monsters, so long as they have no control type skills, then even if it's a one-on-one fight, they won't be able to defeat the skeletal warriors. What's more, if they are besieged, the battle can be finished after just a few moments. The skeletal warriors, shrouded in flames, explored the terrain and fought monsters. Soon, the dungeon's terrain was roughly explored. Lin Moyu found himself in a square completely covered in flames. In the square, there are 4 entrances, with 2 fire sprites standing guard in front of each entrance respectively. The entrances look exactly the same, making it impossible to tell them apart. To other people, this would be a very troublesome problem, they would need to try them one by one. But to Lin Moyu, it's very simple. The 16 skeletons divided into 4 and ran to the 4 different entrances. Lin Moyu quickly ascertained the situation inside the caves. There are a lot of monsters, and not just fire sprites. Killed level 33 lava boulder, EXP plus 660,000. Obtained fire core. Killed level 33 winged flamewinder express plus 660,000. Killed level 34 flare lizard, EXP plus 680,000. Obtained fire core. Notifications came in one after another. Lin Moyu quickly followed in. By consuming the elementary magical draft, all his attributes were raised by 200. His speed became faster. After entering the caves, Lin Moyu soon discovered monster corpses, and his eyes surged with a shade of joy. This place wasn't entirely filled with monsters composed of the fire element. There were also some monsters here that have a physical body. Although, upon death, more than half of their health will disappear, but they will still leave a corpse. Since there were corpses, it made things simpler. Lin Moyu gave an order, and the skeletal warriors stopped killing the monsters and started drawing them. The skeletal warriors ran quickly in the lava caves, luring any monsters they could find to follow them. Next they started running toward Lin Moyu's location with the monsters in tow. Through the map in his mind, Lin Moyu could see that at least 100 monsters have been lured, and each one of them can provide a lot of express. His express will be able to increase by a chunk. At this time, he wasn't far from level 28. As long as he did this a few times, he should be able to level up. Accompanied by clicking sounds, the skeletal warriors ran back one after another. Lin Moyu's hand flashed with red light. Skill, slowing curse. The red of the curse was stronger than the red of fire. The monsters that were drawn here suddenly started moving in slow motion. At this time, the skeletal warriors turned around and unleashed their skill. Skill, berserk strike, blades fell, and the monster at the very front fell to the ground with a shrill cry. Killed level 33 winged flamewinder express plus 660,000. In the next moment, Lin Moyu raised his palm. Skill, corpse explosion. A violent explosion broke out and charged in all directions, killing a lot of monsters. The entire dungeon shook, and lava spurted out and fell to the ground. The fire on the ground burned more vigorously. The dungeon kept vibrating, as if Lin Moyu's action triggered some mechanism. The remaining pursuing monsters unleashed cries, and their momentum rose sharply. Lin Moyu, no longer concerned, activated his skill again and again, and a number of corpses detonated in the blink of an eye. A cacophony of explosions rose, and monsters died in droves. Lin Moyu felt that something was wrong. Why are the monsters growing stronger? After these monsters died, because the fire element dissipated, their health became much lower than when they were alive. But thanks to the skill's 600% amplification, it was still enough to kill monsters of the same level. That was true at first. Now, however, one explosion didn't cut it. At this time, 2 explosions were necessary to kill the monsters. Strange as it may be, Lin Moyu didn't stop. He continued to unleash corpse explosion. Later, it took 3, then 4 explosions to kill monsters of the same level. It seems like their resistance against corpse explosion was growing sharply. The vibrations of the dungeon became more and more violent, as if it were an earthquake. The lava continued to spurt out, and the fire element grew more and more dense. Outside the dungeon, the vortex at the entrance suddenly spurted out flames, startling the class users next to the dungeon. What's going on? Why is it breathing fire? Hey, isn't this the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon? The Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon is one of the 5 elemental dungeons. It is said that, if you are lucky, you can get an elemental fragment there. When 5 elemental fragments are combined into one, you will be able to obtain unexpected benefits. Don't joke around. This is just a legend. No one has ever obtained them. Oh my god. Guys, come take a look. The Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon suddenly has hell rank difficulty. At this moment, the entire dungeon hall erupted into a commotion. The Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon has been here for who knows how many years, and it only had 2 ranks of difficulty, namely Ordinary rank difficulty and Nightmare rank difficulty. Now a 3rd rank of difficulty suddenly appeared, Hell rank difficulty. Shu Han's eye glistened brightly. I knew you could do it. As the one in charge of the dungeon hall, Ning Taran has supreme authority in this place. He knows everything that is happening in here. In fact, he was the first one to learn about the abnormal changes in the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon. After looking into it, he found that Lin Muyu was in the dungeon. It's actually his doing. Will elemental fragments really be dropped? Is the legend true? Ning Taran naturally also knows the legend about the elemental fragments. However, he knows more than others. To obtain elemental fragments, you must first activate the dungeon's hell mode. Elemental fragments can only be dropped in hell mode. Luck is also a variable. In order to activate the dungeon's hell mode, you need to eliminate a large number of monsters in the dungeon in a short period of time. This will have a fundamental impact on the dungeon. Only in this way can hell rank difficulty be activated. Of course, Ning Taran knows about the condition. In this world, when it comes to understanding dungeons, if he claims to be ranked second, no one would dare to claim to be ranked first. Bai Yiyuan can't measure up to him in this regard. In addition to the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon, many other dungeons have a similar feature. When he was young, Ning Taran gave it a try but failed. Later, he organized a most elite party, but still failed. The Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon requires 2 supports, which leaves 1 less spot for damage dealers, greatly reducing a party's attack power. If you can't activate the hell mode, it is naturally impossible to obtain elemental fragments. Unexpectedly, after blowing apart several waves of monsters, Lin Muyu accidentally activated the hell mode. The difficulty of the nightmare rank dungeon he was in instantly shot to hell rank difficulty. The fire element surged, the monsters turned stronger, and the burning flames rapidly increased. The flames that enveloped the skeletal warriors burned ever so fiercely and grew in intensity, turning the skeletons into walking masses of fire. The amount of damage the skeletons received increased as well. If before it would take at least 10 hours to burn the skeletal warrior to death, now it would take up to 3 hours. Lin Muyu didn't know that the dungeon he was in changed to hell rank difficulty. All he knew was that the damage increased, and the monster became tougher. If he doesn't hurry, the skeletal warriors will really be burned to death. Go, he willed, and the skeletons quickly ran toward the depths of the dungeon. Chapter 200. Loosing skeletal warriors for the second time. In the Godbai courtyard, Ning Taran strode in. Bai Yiyuan sighed, "Old Ning, you still have time to come here. Isn't your precious granddaughter back? Why don't you stay with her?" Ning Taran took a seat, then took Bai Yiyuan's teacup and gulped down the tea. "Your student has activated the hell rank difficulty of the Fire God's Palace Hall dungeon." Bai Yiyuan seemed to have expected this. Is it that strange? With his ability, isn't it normal to activate a mere hell rank difficulty? Ning Taran said, "When the hell rank difficulty is activated, elemental fragments may drop. If 5 elemental fragments are merged into 1. Bai Yiyuan interrupted him, "Do you want to steal my student's things?" Bai Yiyuan looks like an old bull protecting a calf. That's not what I meant. When did I say I wanted to steal from him? Bai Yiyuan, don't push me. Ning Taran's face turned red with anger. Meng Anwen said lightly, "Old Bai was just joking with you. Why are you getting so agitated?" Bai Yiyuan smiled and handed a cup of tea to Ning Taran. "That's right, why are you getting so agitated? I'm well aware that if it's meant to be, the kid will gather the elemental fragments. After all, none of us knows where the Lightning Palace and Sacred Light Palace dungeons are. In the dungeon hall, there are the fire, water, and wind elemental dungeons. As for the lightning and light elemental dungeons, no one knows their whereabouts." Ning Taran said, "I saw the Lightning Palace more than 10 years ago, on the 8th battlefield. At that time, however, I had my hands full with fighting an Abyssal Demon King. By the time the fight was over, it was already gone. Regarding the Sacred Light Palace, it has never been discovered before." Bai Yiyuan spread his hands, "So to put it bluntly, if young Lin is lucky, he will find them." Ning Taran said, "I came just to you for a favor. Ask the kid to take my Yi to the Fire God's Palace Hall. Even if elemental fragments can't be combined into 1, individual elemental fragments still have great use themselves." Bai Yiyuan sneered, "There was no need to come to me. Just have Yi ask young Lin herself. He definitely won't refuse her." Ning Taran contemplated for a moment. This really seems to be the case. There really was no need to come here and lower his aged head. Since he couldn't admit to himself that Lin Muyu and Ning Yi were in a relationship, he overlooked this option. But if he were to tell Ning Yi to ask Lin Muyu herself, wouldn't that be akin to him admitting their relationship? When he thought about his family's treasure being taken away by another, Ning Taran's face was full of mixed emotions. Bai Yiyuan patted him on the shoulder. Old Ning, your family's flower will be picked and taken away by another sooner or later. Rather than letting some trash take her, wouldn't it be better to leave her to young Lin? Among his peers, there is no one who can measure up to young Lin. Furthermore, the two of us will also get closer. This is a win-win. Ning Taran continued with his perplexion. In the Fire God's Palace Hall, Lin Moyu accelerated his pace. The skeletal warriors have already found the exit. The caves had 4 entrances, their internal structure similar to that of an ant colony, with interconnected passages. But there was only one exit. This was quite annoying. Without crossing all the caves, you won't be able to reach the exit. No matter which entrance you enter from, the result would be the same. When Lin Moyu saw the entire map in his mind, the corners of his mouth twitched involuntarily. If you had to cross all the caves either way, then why bother setting up 4 entrances? Wasn't this similar to taking off your pants to fart? How was this dungeon formed? Unless you have a concussion, it would be impossible to come up with such caves. Lin Moyu ran out of the caves as fast as he could. A huge palace appeared in front of his eyes. The palace is surrounded by blazing flames, and its pillars are made of fire. Above the palace, there was a giant burning eye suspended in the air. It looks somewhat similar to the eye of the Fire Demon King. Intruder. The giant burning eye discovered Lin Moyu and immediately issued an alarm. The ground shook, and lava spurted out and turned into flames that shot toward Lin Moyu. Damn it! Lin Moyu snorted secretly and ran forward at his fastest speed. At the same time, he reapplied the bone armor. The flames fell to the ground and exploded. A tremendous impact force broke out. The bone armor shone, blocking the impact. The skeletal warriors took damage from the impact force, and the flames covering them became more intense. The time the skeletal warriors can persist was further shortened. As lava continued to spurt out and flames continued to fall like raindrops, Lin Moyu rapidly forged forward together with the 16 skeletal warriors. The injuries of the skeletal warriors grew more serious, and the time they could persevere got shorter. Raiding a level 32 nightmare rank dungeon unexpectedly put the skeletal warriors in danger. Lin Moyu had no idea that the dungeon's difficulty jumped to hell rank. In the end, he reached the palace's entrance. The gate was open. There were 2 guards standing outside the gate. The guards were equipped with an armor of fire and a spear of fire, and they looked similar to Dragonkin from the dimensional battlefield. The guards discovered Lin Moyu and rushed toward him. The skeletal warriors rushed forward at once. Although they were seriously injured, but they were still in the condition to fight. Fire God's Palace Guard, Hell Rank Elite Monster. Level 35. Strength 16,000. Agility 10,000. Spirit 10,000. Physique 16,000. Skill Fire Sweep. Characteristic Fire Elemental Immunity. Lin Moyu was taken aback. Hell Rank Elite Monsters, what the hell? He could feel the strength of the monsters increase before. But since he was busy blowing them up, he didn't pay much attention to it. Looking at it now, it turns out they have become Hell Rank Elite Monsters. I clearly entered Nightmare Rank difficulty, so how come Hell Rank Elite Monsters have appeared? Lin Moyu thought of the previous tremors. Could I have triggered some special mechanism? It's actually very easy to determine whether this is Hell Rank difficulty or not, you just have to check the storage space. Lin Moyu took a look and found that the storage space was sealed off. Sure enough, the dungeon has changed to Hell Rank difficulty. No wonder the flames on the skeletal warriors have become so powerful. Looking at the Fire God's Palace guards in front of him, whose level reached 35 and whose attributes reached a total of 52,000, Lin Moyu quickly accepted the reality. Hell Rank difficulty is also pretty good. After all, this isn't the first time he has raided a dungeon of this difficulty. At least will provides more express and drop better things. In any case, no matter the difficulty, Lin Moyu just has to clear it. At this time, the skeletal warriors collided with the Fire God's Palace guards and unleashed their skill. Along with flashes of red light, the blades of the skeletal warriors fell on the Fire God's Palace guards. The guards were seriously injured in an instant. Consequently, they bellowed furiously, and the spears in their hands surged with flames and swept out. Skill Fire Sweep. This is an AoE offensive skill with a considerable range. Following several clashing sounds, the skeletal warriors stopped in place and entered a stun state. Control type skill. This is the thing Lin Moyu hates the most. Monsters with control type skills were sometimes more dreadful than class users. This was especially the case for Hell rank difficulty monsters, who can unleash their control-type skills almost without restraint. The Fire God's Palace guards kept attacking the skeletal warriors with their spears, unleashing a group attack each time. Their range was the same as that of their skill, covering all 16 skeletal warriors. Lin Moyu had no choice but to summon 20 skeletal mages. He didn't summon a single fire skeletal mage. After all, with the fire elemental immunity of the Fire God's Palace guards, fire skeletal mages were rendered useless. Lin Moyu didn't continue to summon skeletal warriors. There was no use increasing their numbers. After all, once they were hit by the control-type skill, they would become fixed targets. No matter how many summons he released, they would all have to bear the perpetual damage from the fire element in vain. This put Lin Moyu in quite the pickle. As a result, Lin Moyu only released 20 skeletal mages. The skeletal mages instantly activated their skills, and elemental attacks barreled toward the 2 Fire God's Palace guards. At the same time, the skeletal mages ignited with blazing flames. The skeletal mages' physique was far lower than that of the skeletal warriors. As a result, in the Hell rank difficulty, they can last for 1 hour at most. In other words, if Lin Moyu didn't clear the dungeon within 1 hour, these skeletal mages would all die. Lin Moyu couldn't dally, he had to seize every minute and every second. At this moment, a red light flashed in his palm. Skill, slowing curse. All of a sudden, the attack speed of the Fire God's Palace guards slowed. But seeing as their agility attribute wasn't low, even under the curse, they still possessed considerable attack speed. Soul Blaze abruptly burned in Lin Moyu's palm, and a flame landed on the head of a Fire God's Palace guard. A miserable cry ensued. The Fire God's Palace guard suddenly cried out in pain. But monsters are different from class user. Although it screamed in pain, the Fire God's Palace guard continued to attack with the spear of fire in his hands. Seeing that the skeletal warriors' injuries were getting worse, Lin Moyu sighed. These skeletal warriors were done for. He lacked the power to do anything to save them. Finally, the first skeletal warrior collapsed. The skeletal warriors suffered loss once again. The skeletal mages unleashed a second barrage, focusing on a Fire God's Palace guard. Lin Moyu also used the Soul Blaze kill. Amidst a cry of agony, a Fire God's Palace guard finally fell. Killed level 34 Fire God's Palace guard, EXP plus 1,360,000. Obtained Fire Core X3. It left a corpse. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. With a corpse, things will be easy. Skill, Corpse Explosion. The other Fire God's Palace guard was killed in the explosion. Soon, the stun effect wore off. The remaining 15 skeletal warriors were littered with wounds, raging flames continuing to burn them. Even if they aren't attacked by monsters, they won't last long. Execute your final mission. Lin Moyu sighed softly. The skeletal warriors rushed into the palace. The moment the skeletal warriors stepped into the palace, the giant burning eye above the palace shook violently, sounding a frantic alarm. The whole palace vibrated, as if it had come to live.